Oh, where? Oh, right here. Hello, everybody. It's your DM Kales again. Welcome to Dungeons and Dipshits. These are my dipshits. We got one more dipshit coming in a few minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Would someone like to give us a recap of what happened last time?
Not me.
We went to Gresher.
I'm
When
back.
last we left our heroes,
See, we were one day at the Gresher. Actually, no, we were getting off our rock, and then a new friend showed up by the name of Caspian Coppersmith, a brass half dragonborn, who I think she towed us back to Gresher.
he told you.
Oh, he towed. I'm sorry. He. Are you brass or copper?
Copper.
Look at the name, bro.
Hey, man, you never know. Caspian towed us back to Gresher, met some friends there. Perfugo caught a fucking huge ass stingray that I'm pretty sure we did we just lose our DM?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We just lost our DM. Well, good game. That's the end of D&D.
Music's still playing.
No.
Is it?
His computer probably shut off.
Hello,
Hey,
I'm back. Sorry.
What happened there,
What
man?
happened?
I think I figured out why. Remember when my computer was doing that, Adrian, over the weekend where it would just randomly turn off?
Yeah.
There's a magnet at the end of the jewel. I think I've been putting it a little too close to my computer.
You. See, I told you that thing is not good for you.
Oh my
It's not good for my
god.
technology, that's for sure.
Very bad.
Very bad. Yes, yes. Everyone,
Oh my
everyone,
god, you fucking.
everyone judge.
Here
Okay.
comes the hard drive failure next week.
Good thing most of my shit saved on the cloud now.
Yep. But yeah, we just started fucking around in Gresher. And Dimitri almost became a druggie.
Well, we'll yet to be
Almost.
determined.
So I'm saying almost.
There's a lot of scuffery happened last week.
No, just yeah, we hung out in a bar most of the time, and all sorts of shit happened. Perfugo messed up a wonderful meeting. I blame Perfugo for all the remaining evening events.
Okay, so that was mostly right. So yeah, you guys got a tow back from the Rock's Nest by Caspian Coppersmith. You guys sailed all the way to the port of the Merchants Grotto Guild, in which you guys met with a few guild members. The local officer of the guild, whose name is Brynjolf, and you guys signed essentially a deal with him that you guys would deposit some money for a couple days worth of dockage at their port in exchange for a favor of carrying some cargo for them back south to the SET.
That's right.
After docking there, Caspian's ship docking at his slot, and you guys pulling up, you ascended into the warehouse, which Brynjolf kind of gave you a lowdown of town, handed one clifftop lower gate seal,
I have
and you guys essentially left and went and got drinks at the Silver Coin Inn. At that point, you guys met Jalith, the barkeep, who was a half orc, who kind of took a fancy to Aki while you guys were in there. You guys also met a dwarf by the name of Chendrick, I believe.
Oh, Gendrick, yeah.
What is this?
Rich hoity-toity man who was spending money left and right.
Chendrick. Chendrick is his name.
Chendrick.
Chendrick. Chendrick. After becoming friends with him, you guys all sat down at a corner table. Caspian Coppersmith, Elijah Townsend, Rutherford Billington all had a bit of a reunion. Also kind of running into a couple other local, essentially students or professors or people who work with and for the university. And at the same time, the rest of the party kind of made a basic kind of plan on what to do, kind of unsure what to do next. At that time, you guys noticed a couple unsightly figures entering the bar, a half-elf, cloaked and hooded, and a kind of large, stocky human. approaching them. Oppo was instructed to kind of meet them outside. Perfugo running up the stairs and trying to cut them off through the window. Spoken in Thieves' Cant, the half-elf asked Oppo to follow. Oppo, a little bit wary, didn't quite follow down the alley. Unfortunately, a bad roll by Perfugo alerted them, and they scampered off, only to find that they circled back and went through your room, Oppo, and left you an envelope with a note that says essentially, first one's free, don't bring your friend, and a small packet of spice falls out of the envelope onto the floor. You guys all kind of gather there, trying to figure out what to do next. Dimitri figures a taste test is in order. Ends up doing a line of spice.
That was great.
And
Did he do a lot of spice? I thought he just...
No, he did a lot of spice.
He did a lot of spice. He kind of
Okay.
like wah wah, and
Big
failed his
finger.
Constitution saving throw, freaked out a little bit, jumped out the window naked, and then ran away, only to kind of come to 15 to 20 minutes later face down in a horse stable on the other side of town. We kind of last left the party as Perfugo, Caspian, Elijah, and Rutherford are standing in the hall, in the back alley behind the Silver Coin Inn, with a shadowy figure standing on the rooftop on the opposing alleyway. We will first start off with Dimitri.
Oh boy.
He's high. Coming down from his high, he was like, whoa.
He's busted
What
out.
the
of
fuck
it.
happened? Pretty much.
Dimitri,
Yes.
in the wee hours of the morning of your first night in Gresher, your eyes kind of come to focus and realize that everything around you is just brown. And then you realize you're laying down, face down. And you kind of pick yourself up off of the kind of wet, damp, sawdusty, kind of poo-smelling ground to find yourself, well, give a perception check first.
Natural 20.
Okay, you kind of get up onto your knee and you glance around and you realize that you're in a stable and you kind of are laying down and there's this horse that's in the stall next to you that's kind of just like looking down at you. And you kind of look up at it and you're like, oh, and your head is just pounding. And you have this kind of very thick, numb feeling on your tongue. And yeah, it's just weird. But then you have this kind of like urge, like an itch that needs to be scratched, and you feel it a little bit, and you're like, man, I could really use a little bit more of that spice.
He's hooked.
What would you like to do?
I would like to see if I can trace my steps back.
Okay,
to where I found that spice.
give me a survival check as you attempt to read the footprints in the ground, in the muddy ground, to see if you can find your way back towards the Silver Coin Inn.
You flying half the time too?
I flew like down the street or something.
Yeah. I
Well,
remember
he
that.
flew, like he levitated out,
Right.
and then slowly descended to the ground, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
levitation ended, and then he just ran off.
That's
22. All right. Yeah. So
I did
you.
fall. I was released. I remember that.
Yeah, you were released. You did fall because Perfugo attempted to catch you, but then realized it was a bad idea because you're probably pretty heavy and you fell to the ground. So you get up and you open the stall door, and you just see like the backyard of this like stable is just like a mess. Like it looks trashed. Like there's like broken shit everywhere. Like you see like half-eaten baguette of bread and like a bunch of like clothes that look like they've been ripped off the clothesline and just scattered across the back of this. It seems like you made quite a scene on the way back to this. But picking your way through the debris and refuse, you find these large imprints of your footprints, just boom, 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 and you begin to meander your way back. And you kind of, with the 22, you come out of the stable and you take a left, and you go down the alleyway, and you see him kind of turn a right, and you see where you've like crashed through a latrine, and you like follow your footsteps through the broken side of both ends, and pull your way through and meander your way back a couple times, and you find yourself like a few circles wrapping around a building, and eventually you get back. Give me another perception check. Damn. Okay. As you're nearing, you can see the inn. You recognize the back of it, and you can see on the top of one of the rooftops there is a cloaked figure standing and kind of looking not in your direction, but facing away from you. Caspian, at this time, you're also standing in the alleyway, looking up. Give me a perception check.
Alright. Fuck, I don't have that macro.
Javelin at him.
A javelin? I could theoretically do that, actually.
Because that's the first thing you do when you go into a city. Is just kill the
Do
person.
drugs and kill people. That sounds great.
7.
So you caught a glimpse, kind of up at this shadowy figure a second before, but the clouds pass in front of the moon a little bit and kind of obscure your vision, and they kind of blend into the background of the dark night sky behind it, and you're not exactly sure whether or not it was just your imagination or not. And Elijah's there, and he goes, "Oh, good heavens! What is that up there?"
Don't know. It could be a very misformed chimney for all I can see.
Oh, that requires a good sweeping, I do say. Yes,
Yes, get the chimney boy, will you?
yes.
I stick my head out my window to see if I can see the group
Give
at
me,
all.
give me a perception check first.
Whoop.
Okay.
20.
You hear a bit of commotion happening outside before you stick your head out, because you went back to your
Okay.
room, but you kind of hear
I'll go
like
back
some
to your room,
some low talking and murmuring coming from the alleyway behind you.
Stick my head out the window.
Okay, you look down, and in the alleyway there's Caspian, Rutherford, and Elijah, all kind of they're not really focusing on anything. They're just kind of talking amongst themselves. Just now that they're talking about chimney sweeping now.
Say, hey, where did my turtle friend go?
Dimitri, at this point, like, are you approaching the building, or are you staying back and watching the figure?
I would like to try and sneak up to the figure and ask if he knows where I can get some spice.
So the figure is on the rooftop, probably about 30 feet above you.
Oh,
They're kind of standing up on. You caught a glimpse of their silhouette against the sky, but they're not facing you. They haven't seen you.
Okay.
Are you
Sneak
trying to
call.
be stealthy?
well, no, if I can't get up there, then I'll just shout at him.
Okay. What are you shouting at this
Just
figure?
wondering, friend!
You see like the
Can
figure
you
just kind of, the figure just kind of "Whoo," and looks back and sees this naked turtle, and they just kind of are looking at you. What else are you saying?
I want to ask him if he's seen my friends and if he's got any of the brown stuff, brown
So
powder
you shout, "Have you seen my friends? Got any of that brown stuff?"
stuff.
And you see the figure just kind of disappear and then appear, kind of in the alleyway beside you. It is a cloaked figure, head up. I don't think you ever saw. You might have seen the elf figure in the bar, but you can recognize kind of by the features that it appears to be the half elf from before. And it appears next to you, and he kind of says, "Now that is one way to ask for something. So, you were looking for spice?"
Yeah, I want to ask, how much are they selling it for?
He goes, "Oh, well, the first one is free." And he gives you just a tiny little baggie of it. He pulls it out of his cloak and hands it to you. He goes, "The next one, that is 10 gold a pouch."
Okay,
So it's a single use for 10 gold, essentially.
okay. I'm gonna ask him again. Knows my friends are.
Your friends, I take it, are the rowdy group from the inn?
Yes. Or if he knows where that silver coin inn is.
Yes, it is just over there. 2 buildings up. But before you go, you're all not from around town, are you?
No.
That is interesting. We do not have adventuring parties come through town as often as we used to. Perhaps there's some way we can help each other.
Alright. Let me hear it, little man.
He kind of chuckles and he goes, "Well, I am not the one who to speak to you, but we could arrange a meeting. You assist us, and you'll get all the spice that you'd want."
All right.
Damn.
All right.
Oh, bitch, we have a junkie in our group now.
Well, in 1 day's time, at midnight, come to the Squeaky Bar Stool. It is in the Pigeon East District. I'm sure you can find your way around there.
Okay.
Now,
All right.
if your friends do not share the same sentiment, might as well not come at all. But if you are there, we shall see. Like you see him, like he was about to tell you something a little bit further, but you know, he kind of stops himself, and he goes, "Well, I believe we will be seeing each other very soon." And he just kind of like pulls his hood up and like pulls his mask up, and you see him just kind of meld into the darkness as he walks down the alleyway.
All right. We'll turn and try and head in that direction that he pointed.
Okay, yeah, you make your way down. It's like only like 3 buildings down, and then you see, like, as you kind of walk down the alleyway, you see Caspian, Coppersmith, Elijah, and Rutherford all standing around, and they just kind of look to you and goes, "Oh, good heavens, there you are. We were beginning to get a bit worried."
Oh yes, I was just coming after you, Turtle Man.
We'll have walked down to the alley by now to join the group.
Okay, so you make your way down. Yeah, so you guys are all just amassing in this back alley. Okay, sweet. Yeah. So, where did you run off to? Give me a sleight of hand check. Because you are naked, that is true. You didn't have anywhere to hide it. Okay, yeah, so you kind of like keister it a little bit before walking up to them. You see him up in a distance, gonna whoop, and boom, 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 boom. You walk over.
Can I walk up straight? Oh, go ahead.
I woke up with some horses. I've woken up the worst before, so, you know, kind of over that way.
Oh, my dear me, what an experience. Could you elaborate? What was it like? I've never partaken in the illicit substances before. Well, maybe, I mean, there was a couple times in the Nadorac, but, you know, we don't talk about those.
Who's asking me that?
That's Elijah Townsend.
I'm gonna, like, pat him on the head and just, like, ignore him.
He's kind of like, he's like, oh.
Can I walk up to Dimitri?
Rutherford goes over and, like, starts combing his hair a little bit.
I walk up to Dimitri and sort of like grab him by the face and like look at his eyes to like look him over to see if he's like off his high or if he's like still tripping.
Give me an insight check.
Insight. Shit.
Definitely still on drugs.
It's like, are you okay? How are you feeling right now? Do you need some water? You need to sit down? What's wrong, man? Coming
from the murderous pirate's first mate, Oppo. Do you need some water?
And then next be like, what the hell were you thinking?
I'll pat him on the head too. Not poison.
Don't just randomly lick shit from a bag.
Aki,
where'd you get that stuff?
Are you asleep at this time?
Good question.
What time is it?
It's probably about 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yes. Aki is not a drinker, so she just fucking knocked out.
Okay.
I got it from some half elf in a. Or actually, no, I found it on my bed with a note that said, you know, next time don't bring your friend, and the first taste is free.
The little half elf I ran into in the alley?
It's about right. Seemed like a shady ass character.
I think your little friend is stalking us.
makes you say that?
Do you pull the drugs from your butt?
No.
Oh my god.
He's like, I got some drugs right here.
I'm a mule.
That's mine.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'll have to, there are some stats that are revolving around those, Dimitri, and I'll let you know if you ever get into combat and take it.
Alright.
Probably all negatives.
Well, who knows if I'm the one taking it?
Yeah, you could just put it in someone's drink or something, you know? So you guys are all just still standing in the back of this alley. Elijah's like, well, this has been a most excitable night, but I believe I'll be returning to my domicile. Perhaps, Caspian, tomorrow we may all meet up and give our reports of our findings to the university.
Oh yes, a brunch. It sounds excellent.
I will be
Can't
sure
wait.
that there is champagnes and fresh fruit juices awaiting for us.
Of course.
And him and Rutherford walk off kind of northward.
We'll pat Dimitri on the back of the shell and be like, let's get you to bed, big boy.
Yeah.
Pat him right back.
Yeah.
Pat.
I'll sort
Okay,
of walk
so-
him back inside, yeah.
You guys all head back inside, back to your rooms,
Yeah.
and go ahead and give yourself a long rest.
Long rest.
Very long rest.
Seriously.
Yeah, Dimitri, as soon as your head hit the pillow, it's like, boom, out.
You get hungover from spice.
There's a bit of a... give me a... Are you asking as Becca or are you asking as Caspian?
Oh, I mean, I guess it was a general DM question, but if it's not knowledge, that's
It seems
great to
like this
know.
drug... Well, you haven't really been around this drug very much, so you wouldn't really know. I mean,
Okay.
in a meta format, it's a very
Right.
it's a very addictive drug. Like, literally one dose is all you need to get hooked on it. And as soon as you're off of it, you just have withdrawals, and you
That's
have
crazy.
like a hangover. Yeah, that's
Sounds
why they
bad.
make a lot of money off it, because they get people hooked pretty quick.
Drugs are bad.
Okay,
Show is not rated for kids.
so no, this is a mature show. Okay, yeah. If that hasn't been
We're adults here.
abundantly apparent in the
Clear.
first 20 episodes, this is an adult show. Drugs bad. Okay. So, by the time you guys all long rest, Aki, you're actually the first to rise because you've been asleep this long time. You head downstairs, into the tavern.
Dude,
And-
Aki's the kind of bitch who does yoga in the morning.
Sunrise salute, right? Is that what it's called? So Aki,
Healthy
you
mind, healthy spirit.
as you awake and head down to the tavern, Jalith is there already, and it's actually fairly crowded already. The morning, like, you're up pretty early because you went to. I mean, it's probably like 9 or 10 a.m., but you can see that most of the people who you actually recognize, quite a bit of the crowd who was there the night before, is here in the morning. They all seem to be patrons of the inn and are all eating breakfast and kind of getting ready to go back to work. Like, it's kind of like one of those like Hiltons that are like at an airport where people just stop in, have fun for the night, and then go back to work the next day. So you see a bunch of people out there just kind of talking business and going over ledgers while they're sitting there and just eating and getting ready to head back down to the port. So Jalip goes over to you, goes, "Oh, Aki, yeah, good to see you. You want some breakfast?"
Sure. And I'm like unsurely looking around, looking for my companions. It's kind of just like
No.
up and left in the middle of the night.
You are the first one awake. Everyone else is still asleep.
I'm just kind of
'Cause
like
you-
looking around, like, where's everybody? Where did everybody go?
Yeah, you like awkwardly are standing there just like scanning the crowd. You don't recognize anyone until eventually
Sitting amongst tables.
your eyes eventually fall on Chendrick. And he goes, "Oh, how are ya? Good morning. There was a bit of a ruckus last night, but, well, good fun."
Okay, I recognize him.
Yeah, you recognize him. He was standing like right
Wow.
next to you last night.
I'm like, oh, hello. Have you seen a large turtle, a brutish-looking angel, and
You mean all your friends?
Yes, yeah, them.
Well, I saw them last night. We got a bit deep in the cups, if you know what I mean. But we were out quite a bit later than you were. But I imagine they're still sleeping.
Have you seen them?
No, not this
Oh,
morning.
okay.
No. But I've got a table here if you're welcome to join.
I will get
Oh,
back
come
to you.
on. Come on, take a seat.
I'm gonna go look for them really quick.
All right, fair
Yeah,
enough. Fair
I'll
enough.
be right back.
I'll be here.
Save me a
And you-
seat.
Oh, you got it. And you see him he clutches all the chairs together. And he's just looking around.
Yeah, I'm
He's
gonna go run upstairs and bang on the door that I would assume belonged to Dimitri.
Okay, so you're just Dimitri, go ahead and give me a perception check to see if you wake up from this.
Wow.
Your eyes just split open. You're like, you look over, and the first thought that comes to your mind is something that you need a little something to take that edge off. Maybe not as much as you took last night, but maybe just a little something to take the edge off. Actually, give me let's see, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
You really need something to take that edge off, just a little bit to kind of just get you started,
It's still in my ass. I'm not gonna take that.
Well, it's in a little baggie.
Oh, bag, yeah.
God.
Pop it open, take a little whiff, then put it back up there.
Just bang,
Dude.
bang, bang, bang. Knocking at the door again.
You left it in your ass all night.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say I took it out. I don't know. I passed out.
Forgot about it.
So you wake up with a bag of drugs in your ass. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? You wake up to hear this boom, 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 boom on the door, and you're like,
Nobody else do this.
you rolled a 1, dude. You're fiending right now for some.
Jesus Christ.
Does anybody else hear the knock?
Alright, I'm gonna yell hold on, just a minute.
You're also still naked. Also, none of your clothes or equipment's on.
God damn.
Yeah, is all
Actually-
my gear in the room?
It's actually, I think it's an Oppo's room because you jumped out of his window.
Did. I mean,
So-
I figured I would have maybe taken him to my room if we were
So, are
sharing.
you doing any spice before you leave the room?
I couldn't hear any of that. I just all dipped
Oh,
out.
so all of your clothes and equipment is actually in Oppo's room, the room that you jumped out of the window. You went back to your room and fell asleep. So you're naked in your room with your butt full of drugs to Aki pounding on the door.
Alright, I'll try and sleight of hand a little whiff.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
What are you trying to hide from? You're by yourself. Or is he in my room? Or is
No,
he
he's in his own room. Yeah.
He's by himself. You know, sleight
You're
of
by
hand. You
yourself.
can just lay that shit out. Cut that open with a credit card.
Okay, so it doesn't burst in your butthole. The bag. You pull it out and just a little pinch, just a little in there, and you're like, "Woo, yeah, okay, it's morning time, let's go!" And you swing the door open. It's like, "Hello!" And Aki's standing there, and
Aki's like, "Ah!"
you're standing there, all of a sudden just poof, and Dimitri's there right in front of you.
It's like, Dimitri, did you do drugs yesterday?
Also,
Last night?
he's also completely naked.
Do I notice that?
Well, he's not wearing
Did
any
you know-
clothes.
are you kidding me?
He wears clothes on top of his shell. I mean,
7 foot
none of
tall
his bits are hanging out, but
Yeah,
he's
so I can't
definitely.
see no turtleneck. It's fine. It's just like turtle.
Retractable.
It's like, hey, whatever. I'm asking him about the drugs he did last night. What happened? I fell asleep.
I'm gonna say no, I didn't do any drugs, but I can get you them if you need it.
It comes out more like, no, I didn't do any drugs.
I take that motherfucker.
I'm gonna just squint.
Dimitri, it feels like you've had 8 cups of coffee, back to back. You're like, "Ugh!"
It's like leaning on the doorway. It's like banging on the fucking doorway as he's talking to me.
Yeah, he's like, no, I didn't do any fucking drugs.
Oh my god.
Aki's just gonna kind of squint and kind of just back away and go knock on someone else's door.
Okay, whose
I'm
door do
gonna
you knock
go
on?
knock on everybody's door.
I'm just gonna like knock on everybody's doors and be like,
Okay, so Caspian and Oppo, give me perception checks. As you guys hear this like boom, 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 boom from Dimitri, and just like boom, boom, boom from Aki.
Wow.
Caspian,
yes.
your eyes like, oh,
like,
you're
what
like,
is
"Woo."
that noise?
You're like,
What is that
what
pounding?"
time is it? What is that pounding?
At this ungodly hour.
And like you look outside, and the sun's like streaming in the window. Like you guys are just up really late.
Oh, maybe it's not so ungodly.
Oppo, you also wake up too. Yeah, you just hear this like rapid pounding on the door, and like every time it like you hear a pound, like the hinges like creak a little bit as the door like threatens to come off its hinges.
Papa like
You're
runs
like
to the door
600-pound
like
turtle bashing down the door.
Papa runs to the door like sword in hand, just like someone's ready to die. It's like, oh shit, it's you. Fuck.
I'm gonna like just kind of like look at Oppo, deadpan, and then point at Dimitri and be like, "Did you give him more drugs?"
Can I look and see if I see a difference from last night?
Give me an insight check.
Inside check. Oh god, I fucking suck at these.
He seems awake and alert. Very
Is
very
he
alert.
like different from last night? Because last night he was kind of like, you know, he was coming down from the high, but here he's like,
He
do I
seems a
see
little
that
bit. I mean, he seems like he's ready to rip, ride, and rumble this morning. He's getting after it, you know. Season
He's
the day.
ready to go.
He's carpe diem, you know.
My, what
It's
an
like-
energetic turtle.
I didn't give him anything.
Sure.
Scout's honor.
I'm gonna squint at
Aki,
Oppo.
you look back and there is just like the pouch of spice that Oppo had like sitting on his night table, and like I assume you didn't put it away, right? What do you do with the
No.
spice?
It's also
I
covered in
just like look
poop.
over your shoulder and I see it. And I'm like, Oppo, are you lying?
What?
Spice.
You want to hear the whole story here, Aki? Down this
Uh,
on my bed.
I'm
Big ass turtle over
the
here.
current
So-
story is
so,
that we have
Dimitri, are
a
you
tweaking
entering the room?
turtle standing in the doorway over there.
I was banging on the door. I need my stuff.
So Oppo, yeah, Oppo.
Still banging on the door.
So Oppo, as you open the door and you begin to like talk with Aki, he just like shoulders past you into the room and begins collecting his stuff.
I'm gonna say we have a problem.
Dimitri, go ahead and
clearly.
roll.
This actually is all mainly your fault, so that you have a problem.
Oh, whoa.
Wow.
I told
I'm gonna look
you.
at Aki and be like, do you have a spell or
Oppo,
something
over the
I can
corner,
use?
out of
You
the
think
corner.
I have a spell for drug removal or like detox? What do you think this is? Rehab?
You grab it.
Caspian is just gonna light a pipe and start smoking and like watch the commotion.
This is not helping right now.
Dimitri, you eventually you put all your clothes on, your equipment back on, you like heft your sword back into place, and you are fully clothed. And you're like, all right, let's fucking go. But yeah, yeah.
Let's go, boys.
He's just like flexing.
Look at Dimitri and be like, hey, you're at like a 15. I need to bring it down to like a 7. Like, drop it down, man. No, this is no place for that right now.
Appa, give me a perception check.
God. 17.
Wow.
That's a fat plus.
Yeah, that's a big plus.
Yeah, you noticed that the pouch of spice that was on the bedside table is gone.
All right, hands out. Who took the spice?
The only other person in the room with you is Dimitri.
I'm standing in the doorway with my arms crossed.
And Dimitri be like, Dimitri. Here's the bag of spice.
Oh, you're not gonna use it?
Here's the bag of
God.
spice, Dimitri.
You don't need it.
Contraband check.
Rock, paper, scissors for it. All right. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, you lost, Appo.
I'll give you half.
So he
Wow,
like,
how
I was just
generous.
standing there like tapping her foot. She's like, "Are you really?"
Take it
I'm
away
kidding.
from him. I'm trying to take it away from him. You're gonna help me. Play this shit on me.
you guys essentially just played rock paper scissors for black tar heroin. Like that's just what happened in this room. Like that's literally what just happened.
I'm gonna be like, Dimitri, give me the drugs now.
Make an intimidation
I
check, I
want it.
guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I won the rock paper scissors.
19.
Dimitri, give me an intimidation check back because you want it. you can use your strength.
I
You can use your strength modifier for your intimidation checks.
Jeez.
So what is it? A D20 plus strength?
D20 plus your strength modifier.
Okay.
Wait, Appa, you wrote perception, didn't you?
Yes.
No,
Oh.
intimidation check.
I think it's intimidation. It says intimidation.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
19. Oh, 19. Okay, there it is. 19 or 16.
Wow.
Dimitri, he seems pretty mad. He seems pretty mad.
Drugs
I said
right
I'd
now.
give you half.
No, hold back. Give it to me now.
He just begins like pouring out half of it into his hand and like hands it out to him. Or something.
Snaps the back from his hand.
Okay, so
Now
so
we're trying to be
Dimitri, you just okay. So roll. I don't really like rolling against each other, but roll a sleight of hand.
It's a contest. What do you mean?
It's a
Roll against
contest.
each other.
Natural
Wow.
20. Get out of
Oh
here.
jeez,
Oh,
that was a close one.
21. Okay, so. Oh God. Okay.
That's
So
30.
Appa, you snatch the bag, but Dimitri, you just have like a pile of spice just in your hand now.
Oh no. Don't eat it. Really?
Dexterity saving throw. Can I talk by the way?
Dexterity saving throw. Oh my God.
I'm kidding. I don't...
Oh,
Wait,
come
you
on.
can't be kidding.
No, you did it. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, it's too late now.
Dexterity saving throw.
23.
Okay, that's pretty
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage as you like dodge down out of this spice cloud that's just like
You're making me a druggie.
with okay.
Okay. 20.
With a 20. Yeah, so you're like, ah! And just hop down and like hold like this. And it's like, boom.
Not cool, dude. Not cool.
And it settles. And, God damn it.
We're not getting this back, ever. And I'm gonna walk out to the window and just pour the rest of the bag out, basically. Just like
And just,
shake
like,
it out. So
I'm flying downstairs.
No, well, as you see him pour it out, it's really light, and the wind just kind of takes it. And it just takes another breeze.
My face.
Yeah. So one bag of spice is gone.
I'm gonna look at Dimitri and be like, "Did you get any more?
No.
You lying to me? Inside the fuck out of you."
Okay, insight check.
Whoa.
He seems straight up.
No.
That was all the spice. The spice is gone.
I'll
How
say
would I
though,
have known?
the little elf man,
Huh?
he says we can get all the spice we want.
Not do that.
No, that's even worse.
No. I am with Aki on this.
We're not.
Did you know?
I'm gonna, like,
you
close the
Is that the
door.
guy you
No.
chased last night, Oppo? You are not allowed to meet with him.
Not that I am, Dimitri. We gotta watch Dimitri now before he goes to sleep, so he doesn't sneak out like a
Oh
little
my
punk.
Goodness. Oh my
God.
god. This is Italian music.
Sure. It's on a mix, and it just kind of.
Hell yeah.
I think it's fitting.
Oh my goodness.
You hear like
I'm
some
gonna go
music
down and
coming
get
from the
breakfast.
tavern downstairs, and there's music on the street. Like it's like 11 o'clock right now. Like it's not early. It is like almost midday now.
I'm gonna turn to Aki and she'll be like, "I'm going to get breakfast. I need to clear my head from all stuff," and I'm gonna walk downstairs to go get breakfast.
Okay.
I'm gonna remember that I told Chendrick to save me a seat and be like, "Oh, that funny little dwarf." I'm just gonna run after Appa.
All right.
He was a dwarf,
Hey, it's
right?
Nick.
I'm pretty sure he was a dwarf.
Yeah, he's a dwarf. He is a dwarf.
Hey, Nick.
It's Nick.
Who's here?
Oh my
You missed
goodness.
Oh my god, dude. Drunken,
Oh,
filled haze.
god damn.
I was asleep.
Dimitri's now a
Sorry.
junkie.
Perfugo was asleep and missed the drug haven.
So Profuga, you just kind of wake up and open the door, and there's like commotion happening in the hallway. Does someone want to fill in, Nick? What just happened?
Oh my god.
Dimitri is basically a junkie and has like an unsatiable craving for spice. And me and him just had a fight over basically black tar heroin to
That's
like
funny as
whoever who
fuck.
had it. So
Dimitri
Who
also
got
has
it?
Dimitri also has a second bag of spice hidden up in his butt.
That I don't know about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not in his butt anymore, is it?
Stole
Is
the
it
one off
still-
the nightstand.
You took it out. It took a little bit. Did you put it back up in your butt?
Hold
I
on.
mean, you were still
I
naked
think
in your room.
questionable. I'm breaking the law.
I don't know. I didn't roll a sleight of hand to put it back up there, so I'm assuming.
We could. I mean, you were in your own room and you were private, so we could say you put it back up there if you want. Or you could always like hide it in like parts of your shell. Like you don't have to put it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
have to change
I
your
wanna
input
hide it somewhere
on
in
this
my
one.
bag.
Change your
Okay.
input. It's picking up camera.
Every time.
Okay.
God.
So you guys all begin to make your way downstairs, and you see Chendrick is there, and he's like, he's been like waiting for you essentially, Yaki, because he said that you're gonna be right back, and he's just like he's kind of like looking at his pocket watch, and he closes it, and then he sees you coming down the stairs. Oh! I had to almost go into a few bar fights, but I was able to save the seat here. And you see like there's like only one table that he's been like staking out that has like 5 chairs that are like the rest of the place is packed with like.
Oh,
3
really?
people.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah,
run over
yeah.
and do like a little scoot. Like
Okay.
very
Go
cutesy.
down with him.
Okay, you all sit down.
Yeah.
Okay. So he looks and he goes, "So, how was your night?" And he's looking at you, Oppo, because you remember last night he came out. He came outside to like see what was going on.
It's. Have
Make
you ever
new
heard,
make new friends.
I don't know if they're actually friends. Have you ever heard of something called spice?
He kind of like looks back and he goes, you're not
No.
getting into that stuff, are you?
I'm not, but I'm pretty sure one of my fellow adventuring friends did.
Oh, well, it's not the best stuff to be getting into. I mean, it gives you incredible feats of strength and endurance and agility when you're on it, but it kind of fucks with your head.
Yeah, you got any, like who sells this shit?
Give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Ooh, you thought my one was a fat modifier. Oh goodness, this one's ridiculous. Look at this. What is this? Persuasion?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a 19.
I'm sorry.
He kind of like looks around and he kind of gestures for you to lean in a little bit,
I'll lean in.
and he goes,
I'll lean in too.
he's
Like awkwardly far.
yeah, like across the table, you're like leaning in, and he goes, I'm not usually the one involved in that kind of thing, but as a trader and a merchant, I do come across certain types that sell these kind of things, and he slides. He kind of puts his hand on the table, and underneath one of his fingers there is a coin, and he kind of like slides it across the table to you.
Take it.
Like, as long as you say the small amount, all of it. I don't care.
And okay, and you just kind of grab it, and he goes, I believe that'll help you if you're ever looking to purchase. You on one side of the coin. Are you looking at it?
Yeah, I'll look at the coin.
Okay, you look at it, and on one side of the coin, there's a small flame that's emblazoned on it. And the back of it says, it's a flame on one side that says the Ember Light.
Ember light.
Ember Light, yep. And the back of it says, Munster Cheese.
Munster cheese.
Munster Cheese. And he goes, take that to the right place and use what it says on the back, and that'll get you what you're looking for.
Is the right place.
That if you were hanging out with those types from last night, I believe they be the ones to tell you where.
Not the most, conversational, let's have afternoon tea kind of people, so I'm pretty sure they're not just going to show up.
Well, let's just say they wouldn't be showing up. If you catch my drift.
I understand. Like, what main area they hang out in?
All I can tell you, because I can't say much more than that. You're out of towner, so I'm not too worried about information getting around. But there's a bar in the East District, Pigeon East, and if you take it to that bar, you might be able to find what you're looking for. Now,
I'm gonna kind of like remember the name and be like, "Oh, Squeaky Barstool."
you see me? He's like, shut the fuck up. He's like, I could get in a lot of trouble saying about that kind of stuff. He goes, and then you see him loudly. He kind of leans back. He goes, yeah, the Squeaky Barstool ain't got shit on this place. This is the best bar in town. You see a couple of people like, aye. He's like, that place is a shithole.
Sort of lean back. He's like, I'm gonna have a word with those fuckers at the Squeaky Barstool, and just sort of drink my morning ale or.
He's like, if you go, be careful, but don't go as a big group, or don't go all at the same time. Go in like pairs or something, you know.
Okay. I turn to Dimitri and say, "Not with you."
Yes, with me.
Not with you, buddy.
He goes, but be careful. There's a lot of corruption in this town, and as a merchant, I had to do my fair share of, paying your way to get make things go a bit easier. And as a merchant and traveler of goods, I've come across a bit of corruption. So just be careful, okay? What you say, who you say it to, where you go, what you do, okay? Don't try to make a big fuss in town, or else you'll put a big X on your back. If not from those unmentioned, the guard.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I'll sit there and just finish my breakfast and.
Well, now that I have all you here, is there are you all merchants then? You don't really look like the merchant type. Is that why you're asking about goods?
We're in between travel at this point. We have a mission or so thing, something to do down south, and
so you're available for work.
More or less. We have pressing matters down south. This is more of a pit stop kind of thing.
Oh, you're desperate for work, or are you just kind of doing your own thing?
Incredibly desperate for work. I mean.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying I could put a good word in with the guild if you need to find a job.
That would be greatly appreciated.
All right. I believe you're familiar with the Merchant's Grotto, right?
Yes, we are.
All right. Well, I'm off to work. I've got a bit of paperwork to file to get some shipments done. But I wish you all the best of luck. And if you're looking for something, probably the guild is probably the best way to go. And he grabs his paperwork and he begins to leave.
Okay. I'm just gonna sit there and hang out and with Aki and Dimitri.
Okay. You guys are all sitting around the table. Yep.
Aki's gonna kind of like whisper to Oppo, kind of quietly, that we should visit the chapter Arcanum. But last night the bartender told me that magic is quite frowned upon in this region. So we should keep that to the minimum.
Well, it's a good thing I mostly use a sword.
Yeah. I think I am the only one who might be in a little bit of trouble here. Perfugo should be with us, I think, at this point.
Yeah, Perfugo, I believe you're down at the table, and you.
Can you hear me already? Is my sound still fucked?
No,
I can hear you just fine.
you.
Better.
Okay.
And Perfugo, you do of the group, because your wings are out all the time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, of the group, you stick out the most. Most eyes fall and kind of rest on you, and it makes you a little uneasy. I mean, they're not hateful eyes, but they're just, you catch a lot of attention in this crowded bar.
Well, they're not like out. They're like folded.
Yeah, but they stick up.
They're there.
They're there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At least I'm pretty sure.
I'll turn to Aki and say, how do you feel about the people that Dimitri met last night, that I met last night? How do you feel about sort of sending a message to them to sort of stay away?
Stay away from us?
Us, yes. That way, you know who doesn't get any more fun stuff.
Sounds like you should be the one to tell them that.
Okay. I mean, I don't want to go in there alone. I'd rather somebody who can, light up a great area with. No.
It's only me, you, Dimitri, and Fuga there. I guess I'm just kind of like looking over at Fuga,
Yeah.
and I'm just like,
Caspian, you stayed the night in the inn, I believe, because you were out there late. So you're down here at that time too. You've come down and you're sitting at the table and.
I'm breaking my fast.
Okay,
Some
if you
lovely
want,
eggs Benedict
I'll
and a
take.
crisp
I can
morning
take,
ale.
And a nice toasted muffin.
Mm-hmm.
Always gotta
Aki,
have the
Aki can
muffins.
take Dimitri and Caspian. You can go to the chapter Arcanum if you want.
I'm going with Aki to where?
No, you're gonna come with me. You're gonna basically be my
Okay.
muscle.
Sounds good. Gotcha.
Caspian, would you like to come to the chapter Arcanum?
Ah, yes, I was headed there myself, dear. Would you like to accompany me?
Sure. Why not?
Absolutely. Let's be on our way.
Turn to Dimitri and be like, "Hey, why don't you go with Aki and Caspian? I'm just gonna take Profugo out here to a weapon shop real quick. We'll meet up with you guys later."
Do I believe this?
Give me an insight check.
Oh no, good.
Oh no! Put together roll.
Let's see.
Roll low. Shit!
Oh,
He's lying to your face.
Always good rolls.
Hey, technically, it's
tell him.
on my way.
The little gnome man wants to meet tonight.
Little gnome man.
The
Thought it
little
was a
elf
half.
man.
The little elf man wants to meet tonight.
Yeah, that's what he told me. When I was buying drugs from him last night. I mean,
This is a terrible
you
idea.
did buy drugs last night.
See, it's not my fault, Aki. This is a terrible idea.
Actually, technically, you didn't even buy drugs. You're just gifted drugs.
Drugs, you say? What sort of drugs is this?
Bad drugs.
Drug? What is a drug?
Very
I
bad.
enjoy a
drugs.
good drug if I can find one.
Poison. Profugo.
Basically poison.
Much more of an
I wanna
opium
know-
type.
Yes,
It-
anything that
strip off
helps
all your
me
clothes,
forget.
Illegal
jump out the
poison.
window.
Go ahead, Zach.
I want to know why they want to meet us so bad.
I can go find out. I just don't want somebody who wants this shit so badly they're willing to tear their own skin off and steal from their
I mean,
friends.
Zach. So Appo's telling you this, but you don't have to listen to him. You know where you know where you need to go.
You know what to do.
You know what to do.
Gotta get those drugs.
drugs.
Can't
Okay,
you hear, man?
so Dimitri,
Well,
you
I'm not going
realize.
to stop him from going. So
I mean, but you can go too if you really want to. That's totally within your power. So are you guys? So Appo and Profugo and possibly Dimitri, are you guys gonna go now to the ski bar stool, or are you gonna wait till the meeting time that Dimitri talked about?
Well, I didn't hear the meeting time. Or did you say the meeting time? What the meeting time was?
Zach, I believe you just said tonight.
it was midnight.
Yeah.
Okay, so guess I could wait till tonight. Yeah, I still want to go do one more thing, but yeah, I guess I could
So,
wait till tonight.
Aki and Caspian, you guys begin. You're like, okay, well, while they're deciding what to do, you guys get up and you leave the bar and you begin to walk your way northward from the Silver Inn. And kind of as you kind of get out onto the main road, you step out. Nice blue sunny day. A bit of a breeze coming up off the cliffs. It's a bit chillier than you're used to. Probably like in the kind of the temperature we have here, like in the 50s. But nice and sunny. And you begin making your way towards. Which way are you guys going to walk? Are you guys going to walk westward towards the Pigeon West District or northward towards the Spire District? Caspian, you would know. So, you being from this town, you would know that going to different districts requires a token, essentially
Yeah.
a gate seal. You have the proper seals to get into these gates, but Aki doesn't. And going through the Spire District requires a much more expensive seal than going through Pigeon West.
Well, I would obviously like to show off, so let us take the long route through the Spire District.
Okay.
Or short. I don't know if it's long or short.
It's about the same length of walking. One just requires you going through the Pigeon West gate to the Chancellor's District, and one
Yeah.
requires you going to the Spire District gate to get to the Chancellor's District.
Drop some major coin.
Spire District.
Yeah, how much money do you have on you, Aki?
41 gold pieces.
Well, we'll see how this plays out. Okay, you guys walk up to the gates, and there are a number of Valtoran soldiers who are standing there, and they're kind of dressed more like your 13th century European knight. They're kind of in the SET, you're used to seeing kind of more flowy, more armor that's kind of set on different parts of their body, but allowing for the freedom and the flowingness to keep the heat off of them. These people are more heavily armored. Doesn't get as hot here. They can wear heavier armor. So you see a couple of them have a kite shield kind of placed on the ground, leaning against their hip, and he's got a big lance, and he's got a half chest with chain shirt underneath it. He's wearing kind of a half helm with the flowing colors of Valtora, which are the light, which are kind of like the royal gold with blue and white, and you can see like the half sun on his chest. And you are walking up to the gates, and they immediately just go, "All right, halt, please. I need to see everybody's tokens."
Oh, yes, here you are, sir.
You flash your Spire District token, and he goes, "All right, you can pass. And for you, interesting creature."
No, she's with me.
No, sorry, you know the rules.
I do not, actually.
Everyone's got to have their token.
Even if she's with me.
Where can
Unfortunate-
I acquire a token?
You can purchase one right here at the gatehouse.
And how much is that?
A token to get into the Spire District will run you 1,000 gold pieces.
How much is the token for Pigeon West?
Pigeon West District, that'll run you 300 gold pieces.
And Pigeon East?
Pigeon East, that's pull about two gold.
I see.
Actually, no, wait, sorry, I got that wrong. Clifftop Upper is that much. Pigeon East is, I believe, 1 gold. Pigeon West, I believe, is like 15 gold.
Okay.
Clifftop Upper is like 300 gold. Spire District's like 1,000. Clifftop Lower is like 300 to 400 gold, and the Chancellor's District is, you haven't gone there yet. But so essentially the Pigeon districts are like the poorer districts. Pigeon West is slightly more affluent than Pigeon East, but not by much. Pigeon East essentially is slums.
So if we go into Pigeon West, can we get back into Clifftop Lower? Do we have a way to get back in?
You have one seal. Oppo has the one seal
I have it.
to get into Clifftop Lower. Caspian has all the seals already because Caspian is from here and is affluent and works for the university, which is in the Chancellor's District. So I can say, Oppo, if you want to give the lower token to Aki before they left, you can.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I can do that.
Okay, so Aki, you now have the Clifftop Lower gate seal
Okay,
in your possession, so you can get back to where you were.
sweet. That's
So
very
you
important.
so you guys turn around, leave the gatehouse, and are you going to Pigeon West?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You walk up and he goes, and you see like the guards there are not dressed. They're dressed nicely, but not nearly as many and as nicely as the ones for the Spire District. They kind of have chainmail or scale shirts, half helms, pikes. Not all of them have shields, but they're dressed in the same kind of royalty. Their shift isn't that bad. And they go, "All right, stop. You know the drill." And Caspian, you flash yours, and they go, "All right, on your way through." And Aki, I assume you're purchasing one from the gatehouse.
Yes. Is there any sort of discount for Chapter Arcana members?
For this gate, I don't really think so.
I'm just trying to pass through to the Chancellor's Gate. Do you know if there's a good discount to there?
Do you have any written word? I mean, if you're with the Chapter Arcanum, I believe they would have supplied you with the gate token already.
Oh. Well, I come from the Southern Cantil territory.
Do you got any papers with you?
I mean, DM question: would I have paperwork? I don't think that's something we ever talked about.
I don't think you ever got paperwork from Mira to get to the
I don't have like an
chapter
icon or
here.
anything like that that says
Like
chapter.
anything of like with the Arcanon Collective.
You have chapter arcanum, I think robes, right? Like
Yeah,
your
well, I have
robes
like the
have the
symbol on
symbol
my
on them.
robes.
Yeah, that might help you at the gate. You're not sure, but not for this gate. This gate's 15 gold.
Okay, yeah. So I'll pay for the gold for this.
Okay, you pay
gate.
15. You pay 15 gold, and he hands you a Pigeon West gate token. Go ahead and add that to your inventory.
Okay.
He goes, all right, this will get you into this gate from either Pigeon East or from Clifftop Lower or from Clifftop Upper. It'll get you back into Pigeon West.
Okay.
Now, but we're required to say by the captain that if you're leaving Clifftop Lower, it's probably good that you have your Clifftop Lower seal on you, or we can't let you back in. Do you have your seals on you?
I believe so.
All right.
Take it out.
Perfect. Go on, head through. And they open the gate for you. And you walk in, and it's kind of a bit of a jarring transition, but from Clifftop Lower to Pigeon West, there is a notable difference in like affluence. The buildings are a bit more ramshackle. They're mainly made out of wood. There's really not any stone. The road is hard packed earth rather than cobblestone. It's not super muddy, and it's well maintained, but it's definitely just like dirt. It's not like a tailored road. But there are people around, and they don't look super poor, but they're not nearly as noble or merchants as the ones in Clifftop Lower. They don't have direct access to the port. And you're kind of walking through and looking at some of the houses. You see kind of off in the distance there's a large central big square that has just probably hundreds of people milling about, and there's a bunch of different open air market stalls and a bunch of different buildings that look like they have different signs on them as like it appears to be some sort of market or if you look on the map, it's the Craftsman's Ward, which is one of the major marketplaces in the town. But you don't go that far. As you kind of enter the gate, you kind of turn right and head north, and you can see there are these walls that are double the size of any of the walls in the city, and kind of beyond that, there is this large spire that looks like it's on a peninsula outcropping from the edge of town. From what you can just guess is the Alabaster Ichondria. And as you approach that gate, you see many, 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 many guards. There's like a gatehouse, a guard booth, and like a small like funneling barricade to keep like people from one of the lower districts away from the main entrance to the Chancellor's district. And before you even get to the portcullis at the gate, you see like probably 5 or 10 guards begin walking in your direction as they see you approaching.
Okay.
And they go, "Halt! State your business."
I would like to meet with the Chapter Arcanum. I come from the Southern Cantul territory and would like to establish relations. My meister is Mira, the Silver Dragonborn.
All right. And you see like one of them's like kind of taking notes down, and they go, "Wait here." And one of them leaves. And then they turn to you, Caspian, and they go, "State your business."
I am Caspian Coppersmith, come to return to do research on my next expedition.
Do you have your gate seal with you?
Of course.
And you pull out, and it's like this, almost like this opalescent gate seal that just kind of shines and gleams in the sunlight, and it's like a very beautiful gate seal. Like the one for the Pigeon West is like just like a copper token, but this one that she pulls out is like kind of almost opaque, opal, shines in the sun, and they go, "All right, you can head through."
Thank you very much.
So do
Now,
you?
I would like to wait for my friend here, of course.
Of course, right. And you wait probably 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, I have to pull up some notes. Oh, shit. Okay. Hold on.
Wait, IRL 10 to 15 minutes.
IRL, wait.
I also have the ability to like sending to Mira if I need to inquire or ask about anything.
Yes.
You mail me a Chancellor's District token.
Can you put a good word in for me? I'm trying to get in. I have some
There's a
questions.
guard here. His name is
I have some questions to ask.
I'm trying to look for him.
I have some questions.
Why don't I put the names in a really easy place to see?
Hey, what's your goal for the chapter Arcanum?
Okay. So, I mean, I guess I can say it. So I want to ask them if they know anything of the rifts and what's going on with the rifts. Because I know it's very hush hush with the queen or the princess down in SCT. So I want to kind of get a feel for what they know. I know they're very anti-magic, and a bunch of demons just start fucking popping up out of nowhere. They're gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck?" They're gonna be like, "Where'd this come from?" And they're gonna be like, "SCT." And they're gonna, oh, not us. Wait.
Bitches.
So after about 10-15 minutes, you see kind of someone else who is in similar attire that you have seen before, similar colors and similar symbol, but slightly different design, being in a different kingdom a little bit further north. Kind of a bit bumbly, kind of thick rimmed glasses, and he kind of walks up and he goes, I am Scribe Quinn with the chapter Arcanum, and I have come to interface with you. I have been instructed that that you are from the chapter Arcanum from the southern Cantuar territory. Is that correct?
Yes, the Arcanine Collective.
Oh, right. I see. I've never quite made it down that far south, but I've heard that it is beautiful down there. And he, I'll just make a name of this guy because I can remember his fucking name. And he goes, right, well, in order to assess whether or not your claims of being with the SCT, the chapter Arcanum are true, I just need to see a simple, small display of magic. And he kind of gestures off to the side, and because some of the guards kind of like, and like give you guys a nice wide berth. And he
The
goes,
fireball kid.
please, whenever you are ready, and please, no destructive magic.
I'm gonna give kind of like an unsure eye to Caspian.
I'm gonna give her a nod.
Very well. I'm just gonna kind of like wave my hands back and forth like an S, and then a shield is gonna appear around me.
And just,
Just boom.
yeah, and it kind of shimmers and kind of crackles and hums in place, and then it's gone. He goes, most excellent. And you said your archmage was Mira Silverlight? Or
Yes.
Mira Silverlight Nerazine, I believe is what her name is.
Yes.
Perfect, right. I believe there are a few members of the chapter Arcanum already sending messages southward to her to verify this, but this is sufficient enough to get you past the gate. And he turns and he kind of shows this large amulet from his necklace. And he essentially addresses the guard and he goes, by order of the chapter Arcanum, I grant rights and passages to, and he is like waiting for your name.
Akagi-than.
Akagi-than. And the guard's just kind of like, okay. I'm gonna just like, go. And you guys pass through the gates. And as you pass,
Nod. Thank you.
it is this like polarizing effect as like you come from this somewhat slum territory to this like immaculate, smooth white stone carved floor.
Sounds
and
a lot like where we used to live.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's beautiful, ornate. There's like some decorative gardens, and there's fountains, and there's quite a few people who are either in robes or high-ranking military officials or government proletarian workers. All the buildings are large, multi-storied, and exquisite in their architecture with like long peaked roofs and sloping staircases, like big long staircases and columns. And you can see at the very far back there is a building, not the tower itself, but just a building that has the big chapter Arcanum insignia inscribed on it. And next to that, you also see Caspian kind of gravitating towards this building is a building with the big letters on it that say the Falconright University. And you can see that there's the government building on to your left, and there's like the military headquarters to your right. Pristine. It's polarizing to walk through this gate.
Right. I'm going
And
to follow.
Yep. we're gonna do a cut right there. You guys are getting to the Chancellor's District. Apo, Dimitri, and Perfugo, what are you guys doing as you guys are sitting in the Silver Coin Inn?
Is my friend the dwarf back?
Chendrick is still sitting. Well, he has left. He left to go back to the Merchants Grotto Guild.
Okay. Oh, he's in the Merchant's Grotto?
From what he said, he was heading back that way. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'd like to go and track him down.
Okay. So you leave the door open and kind of head back down towards the area where you remember the Merchants Grotto Guild being, and you see that there's the main door for the office with the 2 guards next to it. They seem to be different than the last time, and as you approach, they kind of step and cross their pikes. They go, "Oh, do you have business with the guild?"
Yes, I'm in the guild. I've done work with the guild.
You're in the guild. You're in the guild, or you've done work with the guild?
I've done work with the guild.
Okay.
Do I have proof with me, or is that back in the inn?
Do you have proof with you?
Am I with Perfugo right now?
Did you leave with him?
I thought we were all going together after.
Apo, well, Perfugo said he was going to go try and track down Chendrick.
Perfugo's hangover has him a little confused, and he's gonna walk back to the inn.
You come back to the inn. Apo and Dimitri are still sitting at the table.
What's up, buddy?
I was looking for Gendry. I wanted another shot with the guy.
Oh, he left. Said he had some paperwork to do of some sort. So he'll probably be back in here later.
Okay. My head hurts.
Yeah. Just sit down and have a beer.
I'm gonna buy a beer.
I'm gonna get up and say I'll be back in a bit, and I'm gonna walk out and look for a weapons shop of some sort in this area, or maybe ask the bartender where a fairly good weapon shop is in the nearby places.
Okay. You go up to Jalith, and he goes, "All right there, mate. What can I get for you?"
Looking for a place that sells weapons.
Well, are you looking for just a blacksmith?
Sure. I mean, like a fairly good one.
A fairly good one. Oh well, I mean, the best you'll find is up in the Spire district.
Okay. And just
It's up in the Gilded Ring. There's
Is
a
there
place.
any-
Yeah, it's called Dalbruin's Dwarven Steel. He's got the best blacksmithery in all the land. He actually, apparently from what I've heard, he's got pipes up the entire cliff face to channel updrafts from the cliff into his forges. Gets the steel hotter than anybody else.
sounds great. I mean, any other places around here?
If you're looking for something a little bit more economical, try the Craftsman Ward.
Craftsman's Ward? Okay. I'm gonna-
What is it called? Hold on. It is. You might be able to try Paddock's. He's not necessarily a blacksmith, but he does sell weapons. Paddock's Mystical Emporium is what you're looking for.
Alright, cool. And I'll sort of head out towards the Craftsman's Ward.
The Craftsman. Okay, so as you approach Pigeon West, you come across the gate, and they go, "Halt! State your business."
Headed towards the Craftsman's Ward.
You know the drill. Do you have your gate seal?
Shit, I just gave it to my friend. How much is a gate seal?
For Pigeon West, 15 gold.
Much is it to get back?
400 gold.
Fuck, guys. Trying to, like, take my arm and my legs.
Making sure the right types of people are in the right types of districts. You
I look
understand?
like a shady person, and I'm giving, like, a nice smile.
I don't know that. You look like the kind of person that belongs in Pigeon West.
What the fuck's that supposed to mean?
Got 15 gold?
Well, yeah. I also have 400
you're-
gold.
Oh, well then you're set.
That's all my gold.
Maybe not then.
Yeah, well...
Maybe come back with more
fuck.
money.
Don't be such swindlers with your money, and I'm gonna walk back. Fuck!
I don't set the prices. And you walk
So-
back to...
DM question.
Yes.
What would the consequences of sneaking over one of the gates be?
You're
So,
arrested.
like, yeah, would we just basically get arrested?
Well,
And, like,
if you're
kicked out of
caught-
the town?
if you're caught sneaking over the gates, you would probably be arrested and you would probably be fined. You probably wouldn't go to jail, but you would probably be fined. And
How tall are the walls?
Yeah, how tall are the walls? I was thinking the walls.
Lower in vision width.
yeah, they're probably about 40 feet high.
They
Okay.
climbable?
The Chancellor's District is about 80.
Yeah, are they climbable?
Walls that are climbable don't make very good walls.
That's,
Can't you
that's a good
fly?
point.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
you
fly.
Fly?
You could
Like,
fly
yeah.
over the walls if
I'm
you
gonna
wanted
wait
to.
the person to go and be like, "Hey, can I need your help real quick?
What do you need?
I need to
I
get
have a
over
rope.
the
Yeah, I
next
have rope too.
Scaling the fucking walls. Oh, jeez.
We could.
Good.
Okay.
I bet these thieves dudes could get us tokens, so.
I bet they could. If you would tell us where they are.
I know where and with the squeaky bar stool is the place to go. I have a token for that.
And we gotta meet them at midnight.
Trying to wait till midnight.
Well,
Well, it's only like, what, 1 gold to get in here?
It's only 1 gold
To
to get to
Pigeon East.
Pigeon East. Yeah.
Pigeon East,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
400 gold to get back into Clifftop Lower.
Yeah, usually people don't enter this town in from the Merchants Grotto Guild, and when they come into town from the Merchants Grotto Guild, they don't really leave the lower district. So you guys have kind of come in a weird way. Like, you haven't worked your way up to the districts, you've just inserted yourself in halfway. So going either way is a bit weird. But you got in Clifftop Lower for free,
I
so.
can get Pigeon West and Clifftop Lower, but that's basically all of my gold. And so I'd be, with no money, and I don't really want to be there right now.
You could always go talk to the guild.
Yeah, let's go talk to the guild.
Profuga's gonna kind of like shake his head and say, "Guild. Gendry's at the guild. Let's go to the guild."
Okay.
You look
Gendry,
at
are you going too?
Gendry.
Gendrick.
Yeah.
Chendrick.
Chendrick?
Chendrick.
Chendrick. Okay.
So you guys all get up and you leave
The dwarf.
outside and you make your way back.
Right,
and
yeah.
the guards who saw you coming first now kind of like raise a bit of an eyebrow as a blue person and a giant turtle are also following you back to the guild. And they kind of get a little nervous and they're kind of crossing their spears and they go, and like one kind of glances inside and kind of knocks the door 3 times and they go, "All right, state your business."
I'll pull out the papers to the access to the grotto and say, I'd like to talk to
Yes.
the head man inside.
Do you know his name?
His name is, and he's going to sit there and think for a second as Garrett goes through his notes. His name is Brynjolf. We're here to talk to Brynjolf.
You're to talk to Brynjolf. All right, and you show him the paperwork that says essentially your trade deal with the guild from here. Like, we're docking our ship for 3 days in exchange for this. And you show him that, and they go, "All right, seems to check out." And they open the door. It opens into the office space. You guys all enter inside, and you guys can see there's a number of different desks and kind of sitting areas, and Chendrick is in here, and he's filling out paperwork at one of the benches on the table, and he kind of goes, "Oh, all right there, laddies. You did come here after all. You here to speak to me or to speak to Big Man himself?"
Oh, I came to talk to you, Chendrick.
"Oh, well,
I'm here.
here, I warmed up the bench seat for you."
I'm gonna go sit down next to him.
Okay.
Brynjolf in?
Yeah, he is. You can look into his office. and see
yeah.
him. He sits there. He's writing paperwork, and he looks up as you. Are you walking in? Okay, you look into his. "Oh, how are ya?
I'm good. I have a request of sorts.
Heard you guys had a bit of fun at the Silver Coin Inn last night."
There were some shady people dealing some shady drugs around the area.
Yeah, it's a big city. You kind of get some of those issues, you know.
Guards don't ever try and root this shit out or anything.
Well, the ones that do quickly find themselves dead. The ones that don't find the pockets lined with coin.
Ah, so you got... Okay. You got the greasy types and the pussy types.
You got the greasy types. You got the dead types.
Okay. Alright, I see how it is.
What can I help you? You guys have a few more days left on your agreement with us. You guys leave early.
We're looking to get to the next district over, and to come back, but we don't want to drain all of our our reserves. So I was wondering if the guild could help us out with some tokens to get back and forth between the Pigeon West District and the Clifftop Lower District.
You want to go to Clifftop Lower?
If you want, you or now. So like I'm saying, if we ever go out of this district to be able to come back to it, I heard the price is like some outrageous amount of money.
Oh yeah, for people who aren't from around here, they charge you an exorbitant amount of money. 400 gold, I believe, is the street price to get a Clifftop Lower token. Yeah, I mean we buy them in bulk. We could probably get them to you for a reduced rate.
Or if you want, you could just add more cargo on the shipment down.
Make a persuasion check.
Do I hear this conversation going on?
Give me a perception check.
Persuasion. 19.
You hear some words being exchanged. You catch a few every other word of like money and Clifftop Lower and getting tokens and more shipment. He looks over and he goes, look, here's what I'll do. You take on more shipments from us, a bit more than than you have than agreed upon. We'll write up another contract for those, and we'll sell them to you in a more reduced rate than that.
We're looking for 3 Clifftop Lowers.
I can get you 3 Clifftop Lower tokens for 350 gold.
Do that.
Okay, and you'll take on an additional 4 tons of cargo.
Sure. It's not gonna weigh our slow our ship a lot.
I believe your ship can carry, I think it's like 30 tons of cargo.
Okay. So not terrible.
I think Becca has all those stats.
50 gold?
For what?
How much cargo can your ship carry?
Should be in the Nadorac.
100 tons.
100 tons. Yeah.
Yeah, 100 tons. Yep.
100 tons. A lot. You guys are using about half of that for your main supplies of cannonballs and black powder and your own stuff. But so you guys have roughly 50 tons of cargo that you can hold. So he's asking for another like 4 to 5 tons of stuff to bring down. All right. So who's forking out 350 gold for those tokens? For 3 more tokens.
I will.
Oh, you want to contribute? Okay.
Yeah, I'll throw some in.
Dimitri, what are you doing as well? Are you
Throwing
throwing
150.
What?
350 gold for 3 tokens.
I'm giving 150.
50? Okay.
No, 150.
Okay, so 200 gold left. So you could do 100 per person.
Sure.
Okay.
So Oppo and Dimitri mark off 100 gold, and he goes, all right, and he writes up a contract really quickly, and he just goes, all right, and he slides it over to you, Oppo, and he goes, just sign here on the line, saying you're responsible for the cargo, you're responsible also for the damages if the cargo is destroyed, and you're responsible for the reimbursement of such. If you, it is to be delivered to Mada within the next month, and yep, just sign.
Signed it. Signed it.
Okay, you signed it. He rolls it up. Zach, I believe it's the East Coast server.
Okay.
You having issues with the sound?
It keeps dropping out, constantly. I don't know if it's my internet or not. Because the stream is fine. But it keeps dropping the audio.
Not sure.
Also
Okay, check.
That's fine.
Okay.
I'll switch over to a different. Maybe it's my phone being weird.
Okay.
But go ahead.
All right. So, Appa, you sign it off. He hands you the 3 tokens. He goes, all right, this will get you back into Clifftop Lower.
And
okay. And Profugo.
Yeah,
So you're sitting down next to Chendrick. After you get up, you pay the gold. You sit back down. He goes, all right, lad. So, what can I help you with? He's kind of looking over his shoulder and writing, and writing on some of his paperwork and kind of filling some stuff out.
My friend Chendrick, I just wanted to ask you about some of the places you've seen on your adventures around. Where do you adventure around?
Oh well, I'm a bit of a ship merchant myself, but I come from way up north, up into the land of Windurin. That's where most of us dwarves come from, and actually I prefer the sailing up there. It's a bit cooler weather. you do have to kind of look out for the more bandity types of sailing, but it's a bit more exciting, you know. I've never been quite as south as the SCT that you guys come from, but I've heard whispering on the winds of another land to the far, far east, a new continent or something like that that's been discovered. That sounds exciting. I'd love to go over there.
Do you know the name of it?
What is it? Talvery, I think. Yes.
Talvery. Okay. I'm gonna. So Chendrick.
He's talking about Taldore.
Yeah, I know he's talking about Talvery. So Chendrick, other than
Right.
the bandits, have you noticed anything dangerous or strange on your travels while going up the coast or while in different cities or countries?
Now that you mention it, there's been a bit, you know, it could be just fishermen's tales, but there's been tales of, you know, fire shooting out and boulders dropping on ships way out at sea. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, you
Hello?
dropped. Sorry, after fire.
There's been tales of gouts of fire streaming from the sky and boulders dropping on ships way out at sea. Can't make the sense of it though. That's only the bits of weirdness that I've heard. I've also heard a bit of piracy happening in the far south.
In recent times, have you heard of a rise in piracy in the south?
Only a bit that trickles up here, but enough that it's made its way, so it must be pretty bad. I'm sure you can attest to that.
Yes, the pirates, they're pretty terrible.
That makes me not want to sail down there.
Well, if you do, I would definitely go.
Adrian, are we having issues with the audio?
I don't think so. I think we should be fine.
Okay.
I'm checking it out.
He goes, right, well, maybe I'll stick to my northern routes until it kind of blows over down there.
Not a bad idea, friend. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you. I'll let you finish up your paperwork and see you at the inn later?
It's not a bother at all. Yeah, I'll see you at the inn. We'll have another round of drinks on me.
Sounds good to me, friend.
All right, good lad. And he kind of like pats her on the back and just kind of turns back to his
I'm gonna
paperwork.
pat him on the shoulder and walk out.
Okay, you guys leave with your tokens. We're gonna switch back to Aki and Caspian. So, Aki and Caspian, you guys entering into the Chancellor's district. Where do you guys going? Are you guys splitting up? Are you guys staying together? Going directly to the Chapter Arcanum, or going to the?
All
Falcon
right, Aki dear, where were you actually headed? Because I'm going to the university.
I should go to the Chapter Arcanum, but I would also like to visit the university. So.
Well, what were you hoping to find in the Chapter Arcanum?
I have some questions that I believe.
Oh,
that
I
should
love
ask,
questions. What sort of questions?
relevant to the. We'll talk about it inside.
All right, well, I'll tag along then. I don't have any pressing matters to attend to, so.
As you guys are walking up to the stairs of the up to the university, you see Elijah Townsend and Rutherford Billington kind of just pacing along, and then they look over and they go, Caspian, you must have overslept. We are late for our meeting with the headmaster.
What meeting? There's a meeting?
The meeting I informed you last night that we were reporting to the university at noon.
My head must have been too full of rum. I forgot completely. Let's
Come,
go.
we are exceptionally late.
Oh,
And
God.
they just like poof, and just like in the doors into the university. And,
Come on, Aki, you can come too.
and you guys all rush inside, and like it's. You know, it's like walking into an old bookstore. You know, it's like, you know, wooden floors, kind of deep, like dark red color stained, like flooring, like kind of like a cedar color, large, long pillars that kind of extend up to the ceiling. And you guys essentially just like rushed past the welcome desk, and the guy's like,
John,
And you
good
guys-
to see you again.
Is You're late, sir! You're late, Caspian! You're late!
Yes, I know.
Yeah, and
That's
you guys...
the running.
You guys are ushered up the kind of double like butterfly staircase that leads up to the upper floor and to the very far back, and this long hallway with multiple like busts of like different famous people and priceless artifacts kind of line, and you go to these large ornate carved polished oaken doors, and you go in, and the first thing you hear is, "You're late, Caspian! How could you do this to me? I've been waiting all day!" And you see, like, there's this, like, very, like... there's...
It's so funny. Oh, dude. Out of game. Oh.
You see Professor Falconright is sitting behind his desk, and he is this kind of dark, kind of like... He's a dragonborn as well. But he is much more of like silvered, with these like long streaks of like black scales, and he's wearing this like long like kind of like professor's gowns, and he doesn't seem like very much of a professor, but he's known for his explorations and his studies in magic and the arcane and arcane recovery and research and that thing. And he goes, "How dare you let me wait this long?"
Professor, I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah.
I bow profusely.
Elijah's like, most gracious Professor, we are very sorry for our tardiness, and we promise it not happen again. He goes, "I pay you all good money to go and do my research," and he's just fuming.
Your research is complete, sir.
It is.
It always is. Every time, Just sometimes there are some delays, such as sleeping in.
Oh, don't give me that bullshit about delays. We don't have all the money in the world.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry.
All right, Elijah, you and Rutherford, first. You've been going longer. And Elijah's like, right. Well, where to begin? Most gracious Professor, we have unfortunately lost all of our adventuring party, in the tomb. And he goes, "Are you fucking kidding me? The 4th time this fucking year!" And he's like, "Oh, I'm very sorry. We didn't know that there was a portal to hell." And he goes, "A portal to hell? You were there to recover some artifacts, not open portals to hell." And he kind of like goes on this long-winded thing of how you guys, they went in and they were attacked by this tiger and they all ran inside and all these horrors and, portals and all their party members being killed and murdered, then you, essentially the party coming and saving them, and he goes, "Oh, this adventuring party should be condemned for at least saving part of my fucking expedition." And he's like, yeah, you are quite right. You're quite right.
It's Aki here. This lovely tiefling woman is part of...
Oh yeah, who the fuck are you? What are you doing in my university?
She helped to save Elijah and Rutherford.
Oh, you did? Please.
Give him a little, curtsy.
Tell me a bit about you, yourself, and your party, adventuring party, yes.
Well, I met them not too long ago as well, but it seems that we have some issues in this entire material plane.
What do you mean, issues?
You
talking about those rifts that that fucking Farron won't shut up about?
Yes, Farron?
Yes,
Cats.
Yeah. Farron.
Good cats.
Aki's gonna raise an eyebrow. That is, I would assume, the mage of the tower here?
Archmage. Yeah, that's right. She took over
Oh,
after the
wait.
last adventuring party.
Ah,
I know who that is.
good to know. Well, yes, I'm not sure how much you are versed in the arcane and what these rifts can do, but it seems that some of these rifts lead to hell.
Well, that is most troubling, but also most interesting for my magical research. Not so much research, but for artifacts and history, cartography and such. I would love to map the outer planes.
And I would love to inquire more about the material plane and what artifacts you've acquired yourself for research.
Well, we are one of the largest institutions of magical artifact research here. Specifically, those involving ancient magics, pre-calamity, and pre-cataclysm.
Are you familiar with rift stones by chance?
It doesn't quite ring a bell. Caspian, why have you not just researched riftstones for me at this point?
Well, sir, I may have done some research on the subject in my free time, but I didn't think it was something of worth sharing with you. I maybe do have some research on the subject.
Well, what have you been doing this time?
I found a rock feather. A rock, see? I pull it out.
It's like,
Look how lovely it is. You could hang it in your office.
that's very pretty. I'm sure the biology department would love to look at it, but I am more interested in... is this what I'm paying for your research for?
No, not in full. I was actually pursuing something else, but it's a secret, sir. You wouldn't want to spoil
A fucking
the secret,
secret?
would you?
I
Yes,
paid for
a
your
secret.
research.
Secrets are the best kind of research.
He leans back in his like this large like plush like velveteen chair and like pulls out like a pipe and just packs it, and it like there's just like an uncomfortable silence for like
Caspian packs his own pipe, and
for like 5 minutes of
they
like he's
just
just
stare
like
at each other,
he's
puffing
just-
their pipes.
he's just packing it and just he just
Aki's
puffs at
taking
it.
a look around. Any interesting artifacts in here?
Pop.
Yeah, I mean the place is full of them. I mean nothing that like if you want
give
to
me
like
give me like the coolest 5. Like what would interest
Oh,
Aki
fuck.
the most?
okay
Oh, you
there's
put the DM on the spot.
Oh God! Okay,
I love
you look
doing
over.
this.
You look over on one corner, and on a pedestal there appears to be some sort of like multi-lensed apparatus that looks like it swivels on 2 or 3 different axes that you have no idea what it is used for, but it is on this nice pedestal. You also see this very ornate jade-looking vase that has these long inscriptions of like serpentines that wrap around the outside of it. On the other corner, you see a large painting that appears to be of this place that you've never seen the material plane. You know, it's something that kind of like sparks like the idea of like the children's books of what the Feywilds might look like. And you look around and you see another bookshelf full of just different books of cartography and history, like history of the different realms and of cosmology, and you're kind of glancing along the books and of the history of the previous war that had taken place, and you know the threat of the drowned god that happened 150 years ago, those types of things. There you go. Was that good enough for you?
Yes, perfect. Aki would like to spend time here if possible.
In his office.
I mean, I guess. if
You're
that's
standing in
not
his.
office.
You're standing in his office. This is the headmaster's office, and you're just kind of like looking around.
Why not? It's gonna say, do you offer study to close friends?
He kind of is like looking. He looks at you and he goes, "Well, typically, no, not unless you're a student of the university. However, as you have saved part of my expedition and recovered, because you guys did recover some artifacts, didn't you, from the tomb of Chazan Cobb? I believe you guys did.
Yeah,
do
we
you
did.
do you have any on you?
I wouldn't have.
I mean,
Hold on.
Actually, you know, there is this curious thing that we picked up. I'm gonna pull out the whip. I'm gonna say it was
What's that?
cursed, but we cleansed the curse with the help of the Moonweaver Temple in Marda. But
Oh, so now it's just a whip.
no, now it has the ability to act sort of like a grappling hook. It is quite interesting. I'm able to pull myself 20 feet or pull something 20 feet to me.
That sounds like it might be useful in my aid of searching through ancient tombs.
We also have the monocle, Aki.
But that I'm gonna hold on to.
Okay.
And,
He goes, that is interesting, but it's not necessarily an artifact. That might be more interesting to the chapter Arcanum next door.
very
We
well.
don't specifically delve in magical only. Only
not
when
the
magic
only
is
one
tied
with
to history.
These kind of items, though. My
Yes,
party
go.
group has quite a few items of interest.
Are they more suited for magical research or magical historical research?
Do you consider the rifts historical?
The rifts are...
Becoming a part of
Int-
history, no?
They are, but I'm more interested in things that I can hold.
You can hold what we have.
So, if just as a DM here, you guys did recover a number of different valuable artifacts, like vases and actual like physical artifacts from the tomb itself.
We should have like a music box too, no? From they're like the 5 pillars. One would have the hell anchor and like music box. And
there was a music box. I believe there was a small statue. I believe that there was an ornate jewelry box. I believe that there was a couple of other items that were recovered from the tomb.
Mm.
Yes.
So he seems slightly disinterested in just the magical stuff you're talking about. Well, regardless, if you provide me with some sort of, if you were on the expedition with this fuckwit over here, and he gestures towards Elijah, then perhaps you might have recovered some items. If you can assist me in recovering some more of these magical items, I might be able to grant you access to our library, which is downstairs, part of the university.
The only thing Tave had was a silver locket from the Banshee. But other than that, she didn't have any of the artifacts.
Which at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, the locket from the Banshee, the locket from Lorcan.
Lorcan?
I believe that one was left on her body as she was buried at sea.
Yeah, but if you, I don't know, if you theoretically would have grabbed the Banshee locket.
The Banshee locket, the jewelry.
Figured it would have been in the captain's quarters, which I don't think we would have actually gone through.
Yeah, so you can always come back.
So yeah, we have a number of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. So he's kind of like he puts that offer out there, and he goes, "Caspian, how do you intend to continue this research? Perhaps these new friends that you have made through Elijah and this Archie fellow might aid you in completing more beneficial research to the university, other than these feathers that you've collected."
Well, I was attempting to find the bird itself, but as I found it, this group here had killed the bird, and all that was left was the feathers in its nest.
You're saying that this group here helped you kill a fully grown rock?
Well, no,
they didn't tell me they killed it before I arrived.
Oh, that is most impressive, most impressive. Yes. I foresee this group being a most beneficial addition to the magical expeditions of the university.
You wish to recruit them, sir?
I wish for... perhaps, if there are magical expeditions that require some helping hands.
I'm sure that a deal can be reached. You recruit us for your expeditions, and we have full access to your university.
Give me a persuasion check.
Wilson's positive thoughts.
He looks over and he goes, Well, as I have not seen you directly work under the supervision of the university, and that I will say this.
I'm sure the Merchants Grotto Guild can offer a good word for us as well.
Ah, I see you are associated with the guild.
We are also associated with the Navy and SCT. So we have quite a name for ourselves, apparently.
I see, but not quite enough to reach me before now. But a name that perhaps we might be able to grow together.
Yes.
If you continue to working with yourselves and bring positive results, then I shall take it under advisement and to offering up some of the funds of the university in order to aid in magical historical research.
Funds are a bonus. That sounds good.
Funds, including wealths of knowledge.
That sounds great.
Yes, they have quite a bit of knowledge. I would be happy to work with you on your expeditions.
Caspian, you are to work with this group in order to aid in the research.
Absolutely. I've been so bored. You would not understand, Aki. I've been so terribly bored.
All right. I've spoken. Now, please, I have many matters to attend to.
Yes, sir. I'll pardon our intrusion and lateness, and thank you, sir.
You guys leave out, and he goes, Elijah, you, Rutherford, here, now, I've got another assignment for you, and it's not gonna be something you fucking enjoy. You're losing 30 of my fucking people, god damn it. And, like, they're like, all right, like, you'll be filing bullshit for fucking weeks here. And they're like,
He gives kind of a yikes look at Caspian, like, teeth suck.
So you guys leave. Rutherford and Elijah are in there, just kind of getting their asses chewed out again. Their expedition went a little more south than Caspian's did. So you guys leave there. Is there anything else you guys would like to do while you're in the university?
Arky dear, would you like to visit the library now that you have clearance to do so? It's quite expansive.
Do I need a card or anything to prove that I can access the library?
No, I'll just say that you're with me.
Well,
It's worked before.
I feel like we should go to the Chapter Arcanum first.
Oh, sure, whatever you'd like to do, I will just follow.
Alright, let's go to the Chapter Arcanum.
And like as you're like leaving Caspian, like you like swing by like there's like a bar section of like inside the university. You just grab like a gin and tonic on your way out and just like swipe it.
God, that man makes me stressed.
And as you guys are leaving, you can see that their scribe Quinn is sitting there, and he's like, oh well, I was wondering where you'd scampered off to, Akaguthon, the Archmage of the Chapter Arcanum for the Alabaster Iconry would like a meeting with you.
Perfect, right on time.
All right, if you would be so gracious to follow me, and you guys actually walk past the Chapter Arcanum's building and over towards where the tower is, and it is this tower that appears to be only about 10 stories tall. When you're kind of far from it, but as soon as you pass through the gates leading to the cliffside, it is probably like it extends out of sight into the clouds.
So it looks smaller from further away?
From further away, it looks like a normal sized tower, and as you get closer to it, it just stretches in your eyes. It's like, and as you get there, you're like, holy fucking shit!
I always love how tall this building is.
It's like a big noodle.
It's giving me a good neck stretch.
And Scribe Quinn's like, yes, please. We must be hastily. The Archmage does not wish to be kept waiting. And like, they shuffle inside, and inside, you guys can see, there is another front desk, and as you guys enter the building, it essentially is a giant spiral staircase that extends all the way up, just out of sight, and like on each floor there are like a number of rooms in a ring that kind of extend their way up as far as you can see. And for all the people you see walking around are all in Chapter Arcanum clothes, and on their shoulder, one shoulder is a Chapter Arcanum sigil, and the other shoulder is a number, or like in Roman numerals. And those who are on the bottom floor have like I think it's like the number. It's like they all have a 1 on, and then you see but like 1 up to like the highest you see on this ground floor is probably like 7 or 8.
Okay.
And essentially for every number, Scribe Quinn fills you in. For every number higher that you are, the higher up in the tower you get to go for magical research. So ground floor is cleared for level 1 people all the way up. You guys essentially go to the very, very far back of the tower itself, not up the staircase, to this small room where there's a sigil on the ground. And as you guys stand there, just and you guys just feel the ground leave beneath your feet as you are rushed rapidly.
You could swap over if you want. You can go back to Perfuga.
That's true.
Okay.
A good break.
Too much talking.
Oh, so much talking. Oh my god. Okay.
Oh, that's good. I enjoy it.
Ooh.
So, Apo, Dimitri, Perfugo, you guys leave out into the open light of the clifftop lower, your gate keys in hand. What would you guys like to do?
Walking straight back to that gate to go towards Pigeon West.
Okay, simple enough, you guys.
My gold in my pocket and then pull up.
Okay, yeah, you guys all walk up to the gate, flash your sigils, guards let you through. Actually, no. 15 gold per person to get your Pigeon West.
Yeah.
I'll get the gold.
Okay. And you guys are handed your brass or bronze tokens, and they go, all right, you guys have your return sigils now?
Show mine.
Yep. And like, all right, and they let you pass through. And you head over to the Craftsman's Ward? Okay. As you guys are walking, again, this kind of dirt road expands out into a large central square, and there are a number of different buildings you see around. There's a bunch of open air markets. Let's see. What do you see? What do you guys have to do? Okay. There's one store that's called Odds and Ends, and it's this 3-story tall building that's kind of all tilted at different weird angles, with a large geared clock on the front. You guys see a large stone building lit with braziers, that has a big sign that says Paddock's Mystical Emporium. And then there's like a small bookstore, there's a small herbalism store, and like a bunch of open air markets.
I'm going to, I think it's Paddock's, which is the one that had the weapons.
Okay. Yeah. Dimitri and Pufuka, where are you guys going?
I'm following.
You guys all go to Paddock's?
Where did you say? The bar?
I'm going to Paddock's Mystical Emporium.
Yeah, I'll go too.
Okay, so you guys open the door, boom, and you're hit with this like heavy scent of kind of like incense and let me just pull it up. And you see coming from behind the counter is this large creature that I don't think any of you guys have run into before. I'd like everyone to give me history checks.
History.
Story. Aki, Oppo, you understand, you know what this is, and Dimitri's like, oh, it's a Furbolg, nice.
Oh, wait, did we meet a Furbolg in a...
Oh no, you did in Zeshi.
Yeah, Zeshi.
So you walk in and goes, oh, how are you guys? Welcome to...
Brian was that guy, right?
Yeah.
That was Brian, yeah.
Hello, I'm Brian.
Yeah,
So he's not quite as slow as Brian. He's, oh, welcome to my story. How can I help you?
I am looking for a rather fancy-looking dagger. Doesn't have to be like weapon-worthy, but just a nice, fancy-looking dagger.
Oh, like an ornate kind of dagger?
Yeah, sure.
I've got this beautiful silvered one here with a bit of jewel encrusted on it.
We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, it's just this fine crafted, kind of slowly tilpers up to a point. It's got silver inlay, gold work in the handle, a few rubies and set as well. Very, very beautiful.
How much for the dagger?
Oh, for this dagger? Oh, with the silver work and the inlay and the jewels, it'll run you 600 gold.
How much could you do for like 200 gold?
He goes, oh, well, I could. Here's this one, and it's just kind of like a simple dagger. It's got a little bit of gold inlay in the pommel. It's got a wire wrap that looks to be made out of some sort of like gold infused metal, and there's a bit of like studs on either side, but it's not nearly as like pure metal, and not as many jewels. And he goes, here you go. This is a bit more in your price range.
Shit. Yeah, well, nope. Alright, I'll pass on that one.
All right.
I want this to be nice.
Anything else I can help you, you gentlemen find?
That's all I was looking for. Fuck. Guys?
Do you have any nice keychains?
Keychains? Oh, for like keeping all your gate tokens together?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, we sell a variety of those, and there's like anything from like gesture to like a little like on the countertop. There's like a little counter display, like where you see like croquis, in like Bass Pro shops. It's like one of those, but like there's some that are like hanging that are like twisted metal. There's some that are just braided cord. There's some that are just like made of like single bars of like gold, that are like inworked with like these metal rings on the bottom for holding them. However nice you want it. Anything from like a few copper to like 10, 15 gold.
I'm gonna pull out 1 gold and say whatever this buys.
Okay, and he hands you kind of like a kind of nice worked steel. It's got a bit of carvings into it. Kind of looks like looks like a fish. You gravitate toward the fish one. You have this cool like fish carved metal keychain holder, and you go ahead and loop your gate keys onto that.
Thank you.
All right,
I'll
pleasure
type back
doing
in.
business with you.
Have anything in the way of like pins? I mean, kind of like stick on the shirt like an emblem-ish pin kind of thing.
Maybe not nothing that fancy. You might want to go to the Spire District for something like that.
Shit, man, Paddock. I heard great things about you, man. You're letting me
Well,
down.
I mean, if you guys need any potions or some basic armor, or I've got a few magical items in the shop too. If you guys are looking for some herbally kits, some dungeoneering kits, anything that you might need like that sort, I got.
Well, what?
If you're looking
I'll
for
take two
something
regular
more
potions.
like kind of knick-knacky, you might want to try Odds and Ends across the street.
Okay, yep, I'll go there.
Okay.
What kind of magical items do you have?
Well, I've got this fantastic ring here that when you wear it, and if you fall from a great height, it slows your fall to a gentle sway. I also have another amulet here that allows you to walk upon water.
Oh,
And
how much would you be willing to part with that amulet for?
Oh my gosh, Pufu was just gonna walk out in the ocean and start fishing. Bye, guys.
Not a bad idea.
Or like if. Oh man, it's like run after a fish that gets caught in your line that's too big. I'll never get this. Oh my goodness.
oh,
Eat too much?
It's gonna be like 20k.
Common item.
oh, that can't be right. It's hold on.
Adjust for inflation.
Uncommon.
Hey, we're in Pigeon West, so just for deflation, thank you.
For this ring,
Let's-
it'll run you let's say 450 gold.
For the ring or the amulet?
Sorry, for the amulet of water walking. Yeah.
450 gold?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh wait, where the?
I'm gonna say to him, well, I would love to pay you 450 gold, but I'm a wee bit short. Would you be willing to drop the price or take a fair trade deal?
Oh, if you have something to trade in addition to the gold, sure.
Potion of fire resist.
Yeah, I
Oh.
do have a potion of fire resist. I'm gonna take out my potion of fire resist and say, I offer you this as a trade. This is a potion made in the SCT. It is the finest kind of fire-resistant potion. I can guarantee you that. I've seen it work. I've seen it work against fire elementals, against fires that cannot be stopped. It is a potion well
Ooh.
worth your while.
Oh. And he like inspects the bottle of it, and he kind of like as you swirl it, it kind of glows a little bit of orange as you swirl it. And he goes, "Oh, I know this guy, Bungie, right? He works that way down there. Some of his kids get up here. Yeah,
Yeah, I
He's
love
a-
Bunch.
he's a good guy, He's just a stand-up kind of guy." He goes, "Oh, well, with the addition of the potion that you gave me, I'll give this to you for 375 gold."
Sold. I'll pay it.
All right, you hand him the fire potion and 375 gold, and he passes you an amulet, and it's an amulet that looks like a big teardrop, like splashing into water, and it kind of. So go ahead and add an amulet of water walking to your inventory.
I want to ask him how much that ring is,
The Ring of Featherfall.
and if he could tell me more about it.
So you can walk on water whenever now?
Yes,
Yep.
ma'am.
That's dope. Not only can you fly,
Exactly.
you can
I
also walk
You don't have to
on
use your
water.
wings all that time, yeah.
have to diversify.
Oh, it's rare. Okay.
just run after pirates on the water. Come back here, you whippersnappers! Let me smite you!
Okay, so the Ring of Water, the Amulet of Water Walking does not require attunement, but the Ring of Featherfall does. The Ring of Featherfall is considered a rare item, and that'll put you in the neighborhood of about 3,500 gold. But essentially, if you put it on and you wear it, anytime you fall at the rate of what is it?
60 feet per second.
60 feet per second. Yeah. So
Never really get
faster.
No, you fall slower.
you fall way slower.
So you won't do damage. So you can fall from like 1,000 feet and sort of like float your way down, basically. And
60 feet per round.
Oh.
So
That's
10
faster
feet.
than I fell.
No, 60 feet per round is 10 feet per second. So that was the same.
Basically parachuting to the ground kind of thing. I don't think it will ever
You
take
guys-
fall damage.
Yeah, I think I did that. I must have done that wrong for the rock fight. You guys did fall slower than you were supposed to.
Oh, darn.
You did a few things wrong for that fucking fight, dude.
No, that was the only thing wrong I did for that fight.
No, it definitely wasn't.
Yeah?
Adrian could tell you.
Oh, yeah?
Mhm.
What? What did I do
Like
wrong?
how
in
that
fight?
fucking bird does not have legendary actions and doesn't get that many claw attacks on each turn.
Gets 3 attacks per turn, and I added a legendary action to it.
Ooh, he doesn't have a legendary action though.
Allow me to divert your attention to the first page of the Dungeon Master's Manual, which means the Dungeon Master's rule is the ultimate say in the rules.
Alright.
No matter what the rules say. So, technically I can do whatever I want.
Yep.
Sounds like bullshit to me.
Hey, you're the one still playing the game.
Sounds like complete bullshit.
R.I.P. Tave.
Waiting for.
So, Dimitri, you interested in the ring?
I am, but it just slows how fast you fall?
Yeah, so essentially, if you have this ring on, you never take falling damage.
Oh, you just don't take fall. Okay.
You just don't take- mechanically, you fall 10. You fall 60 feet per round, but the way that it works out just in the game is you just never take falling damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds interesting. I'm going to tell him I'd be interested in that. Do they have any other magical items, such as weapons?
He goes, oh, sure, I've got some more magical weapons and items, but what's your budget looking like here? I don't want to steer you the wrong direction.
About 1,000 gold.
About 1,000 gold. Okay.
Have you spent any money?
I bought the sword,
Okay.
which I think was like 300 gold or something.
Okay, so that'll put you in the lower tier rare items that I've got here in the shop. Oh god. Okay. So. Oh god. Okay. Let me just go back and look through my stocks in the back room real quick.
Gibbs looking through his notes.
Are you looking for something that's around what kind of weapon are you looking for?
Well, I like to smash things with axes and hammers.
Murdering things. Okay. So it's
As
more
far
like
as
a
enchantments go, I
two-handed type of item. Oh.
Yeah, I'm more curious what kind of enchantments. I mean, what it comes on, I'll smash with it, but...
I can't believe we're still level 7.
Now, yeah, we need to get on this level train.
thinking of it in context to an actual video game, it just seems like really pathetic.
Don't go fight anything. Go fight some drug dealers today. It might happen.
I've got the let's see here. I've got this this maul, this two-handed maul of battle.
Ooh.
But it whenever you attack, it deals an additional amount of echoing, crashing damage to the enemy in front of you, and a couple times per day you can use it to give yourself that extra leg up you need in battle.
So you don't need the sprite, man.
So essentially,
Look at that.
weapon attacks deal 2d6 stunner
Swear.
damage, and twice a day you can grant advantage on a combat check.
It's kind of
There
cool.
you go.
Not bad.
Not bad. That sounds perfect for you.
The fact that
And he said
Oppo
it's a
thinks
maul?
that this weapon can
Yeah, it's a
replace
maul.
the spice. The spice is essential.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. You're
The
just about.
spice is life.
Nice.
Is what?
The spice
Uh,
is life.
It's yeah, that'll run you 1,000 gold.
Jesus fuck.
I mean, that's
Shit
pretty
is
cool.
so
Do it.
expensive.
Oh,
Actually.
I do
Damn,
want to save
you're-
up for that ring though, because
You're
I think
balling, Dimitri. Dimitri's saving up.
the
By
ring would
1,000.
probably be way more useful.
The what? The ring?
And the next rock
Yeah.
fight you guys have.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Is there gonna be another rock
'Cause I mean-
fight?
Dude, we
So
can just
the-
have our tank, like, appear from midair in the middle of a battle.
He's just like swing as he floats down.
We'll drop him from a great height before the battle starts, start the battle, and then he'll just pop in when no one...
Floating down.
BAM! Turtle belly flop on that bitch.
Okay, so you're gonna hold off on the sword, the maul, sorry, and you're gonna wait for the ring?
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
But
Okay, we will quick jump back to Oppie and Caspian. You guys ascend up to the Archmage's quarters, and sitting behind a desk is another half elf, and she is like long, kind of golden hair, flowing Archmage robes. You can see that there's a 30 on her shoulder of her
Oh,
rank.
shit.
As
30!
30 is the highest rank. And she comes over to you guys and she goes, Akagi-thon, so great to meet you. My name is Farron Summerwind, and I'm the Archmage here at the Alabaster Icontria.
It's very nice to meet you. I'll give her like a very nice bow.
Garrett, that should probably ring familiar to you. She was
Oh,
in-
it does.
she
When
was
you
in
said
last-
Farron and you said Archmage, I was
Yep.
like, character development.
Yep. She goes, I just received a message from your Archmage down at the the Arcanon Collective.
Yes.
Mira, she's
She's fast.
well, that's the joyous thing of magic.
I was gonna
It is
message her.
instantaneous. She seems to have beat you to it.
Oh, I was gonna
she's-
surprise her.
She was a bit curious to find that you had come all the way up here, but we are welcome to bring you in to show you what we have going on here. This chapter of the Arcanum.
I thank you sincerely.
And she goes, what level of sorcerer are you?
5.
5? Okay. She goes and she produces an insignia that says, what's the highest level sorcerer spell you can cast?
In 3rd level.
She hands you a 3 pin. And so you can go ahead and attach it to your robes. And she goes, this pin notifies your rank within the Alabaster Icontria, but also grants you access to up to the 3rd level floors for magical research. I know you're not directly affiliated with this chapter, but this should allow you freedom of movement while you're in town to have the same access to the types of magical research you had at the other chapter location in the SCT.
Thank you very much. Our location was much smaller. And was not very. The Archmage was testy.
Which one?
Rodan.
Oh, he's not with the Chapter Arcanum.
Oh, he's not? The Sunspire's not a part of that?
The Sunspire is essentially licensed by the Chapter Arcanum, so he can practice magic, but he is not affiliated.
Oh.
That's why Mira came and chewed him out. Was like, hey, like you are
Work for
operating outside of us because we let you, not because you can do it. So the Sunspire is not part of the Chapter Arcanum. The Chapter Arcanum that you are part of is the Arcanon Collective, which is the big tower in Ralhuna Bahar.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Which is like essentially this very similar size tower is this one. This one's a little bit bigger, but
Gotcha.
but yeah, he goes. Oh yes, the Svenspire. I've heard of such things down in the SCT. I've never quite been. I'm not familiar with the Rodin. Rodin is his name.
Yeah, rodent. Yes.
Rodent. I like that. Yes. It is a suiting name.
I believe it is dialectual.
Of course. Well, is there anything else I might be able to assist you while you enjoy your time here in Grescia?
Yes, I come with some questions. Are you familiar with the... I'm sure you're familiar with the land out to the east?
Oh, Taldore, yes.
Yes.
We have already made contact with some of the mages at the, over there as well.
In Taldore?
Some of them... Yes, we have, yes.
Oh, how interesting. That is very interesting to know.
They are...
Time.
I shall be sure to relay that. And then Aki's gonna like snap, and then a little glowing parchment is gonna appear, and she's gonna write kind of like little notes into it.
Let's see...
Penultimate something.
Yeah. Oh, God. What's it called? Oh, the Lyceum, I think.
What? Alabaster Lyceum?
Yeah, the Alabaster Lyceum. Yep. That's like their historical study in magic. Yep. Yes, we've already made contact with the Alabaster Lyceum.
So that is very interesting.
Yes, you'll be quick to know that once your mage abilities grow and your studies advance, the network for mages expands and grows smaller, if you get what I mean.
Of course.
Information travels quickly over vast distances.
So I'm sure that you know of the rift situation then?
Yes, I'm well aware of the rift situation,
Are
I
you
believe.
aware of the potential hell rift situation?
Mira mentioned something along those lines of rifts that are being opened towards the outer planes. We haven't seen anything quite like that as much here, but our research is a bit behind as far as the rifts go.
Are you aware with the tale of Chazankab?
The name does not exactly ring a bell.
And then I kind of like, I'm gonna pull out a book of, I guess I have one of those books, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull out one of the books that I found on the ship that Satora had. And I'm gonna like kind of pull it out and show it to her. And
okay. She flips through it and she goes,
possibly she can read it?
Yes, she can read it. You see her like cast a few like that, and a spell goes off, and then she goes, yes, and she begins to read it, and so yeah, she essentially just kind of brings herself up to speed. She goes, this sounds like a very troubled and troubling man.
It gets.
You said you
worse.
encountered this.
Yes, we it appears that the adventuring party stumbled upon a summoning ritual by said Chazankab to reincarnate himself to this plane.
Interesting.
I am not sure of Chazankop's origins, though. It's clouded in mystery.
This book, well, his origins actually were in Wendurin, and he essentially, going back through your history, you remember that you read that Chazankop essentially in his earlier youth,
Do
when
I know he's a
younger,
visage?
a visage.
Yeah, remember he was a visage of someone else?
Yeah. So Chazankop himself as a person
Yeah,
was a necromancer.
yeah.
And he attempted to study Dunia again after it had been lost for ages, and failed, and but also during the time murdered his family, murdered his entire town, and once he was killed or died, no one's really sure, was sealed away in a tomb. When you guys encountered him, he had formed a pact. He had written a contract with a pact with a devil.
Okay,
And that's why he had come back to life. Was he was reincarnated as a devil,
gotcha.
and so he has devil. He has a devil pact
So it was
now.
the actual Chazankop.
The body reanimated and was reformed into this visage, the visage that you recognized, but spoke of and had the same knowledge as Chazankop did.
Gotcha.
And you kind of fill her in, and she kind of has this worried look on her face, and she goes, "This is most concerning. We shall keep our eyes peeled for any such activities that might pertain towards the rifts opening towards other lower planes of existence. I thank you for this knowledge."
Absolutely. I would, not to be forward or bashful, but, is there anything that you may offer us in this region? We are new to Gresher and all of Valtora, and we do not know much of this region. I've just recently found out that magic is kind of frowned upon, and I do not feel quite safe.
It is not necessarily frowned upon. People are just scared of it. The kingdom, who used to rule over Valtora, had outlawed magic for many, many years during the war, and people grew afraid of anyone who was casting magic, as they were portrayed as enemies of the crown. Now, the adventuring party that actually saved this town, and I'm sure you saw, as you guys walked up to the Alabaster Country, there's a large statue of the commemorating the previous adventuring party who had stopped the drowned god from coming to the material plane. And she's like, yes, they were. They came in and uprooted the previous king, who had been tainted in the by necromancy, lichdom, and the attempt to bring a most heinous god to this plane. So magic in this area has deep roots in fear and controlling. It is not illegal. It is not frowned upon, but you might scare people if you partake in magic. However, the new parliament and the chancellor have not outlawed magic. In fact, they encourage magical research and rebuilt our tower in the hopes of returning to magical studies and the use of magic to aid the populace and bringing advancements to our society.
Well, if you would, if you require assistance in that, I am seeking to answer some questions of my own past. Some issues with these mages themselves, the mages of Dunia.
As you say Dunia, she kind of like tunes into you a little bit. It seems to be pretty much of a trigger word for anyone who knows about it, but she goes, "What is your interest in Dunia?"
I'm gonna say, I believe there is a resurgence. The visage of Chazankab spoke of this.
And you think that they are tied to the rift somehow?
I believe so. There have been some curious findings with, are you familiar with the rift stones?
Yes, I am aware of the rift stones. The research that the SUT has done has been valuable, and I believe Altarin was his name, has been doing much research on how to build these rift stones, and the news has spread to the archmages of each of the chapters.
Well, there are some who seek to obtain the rift stones for their own personal gain. And I kind of like mention Rodan.
Rodan. I
He
figures
was
that's
quite curious when we showed him one of the Hell Anchors.
That is a bit concerning. We might have to investigate a bit further into what he really is researching in his tower. Are you familiar with the Magnus Cryptus?
Funny you should say that. The entire reason we arrived here was because our captain had been killed by a rock that was
Yes.
disturbed by an assassin from Magnus Charybdis.
That means they're here as well. Shit. We have been as strong as the chapter arcanum is. There's a yin to every yang, and that for us has been the Magnus Cryptus. They meet in shadow and conspire against traditional and safe practices of magic, turning towards the more darker forces of necromancy, lichdom, and dunya that they have been interested in. We have rooted out a few of their cells occasionally, but more often than not they escape. They are much more mobile than we are, and they are much more secretive. I would be extremely cautious, especially if they seem to have their eyes on you.
Aki's gonna kind of like be taken aback at the idea that they're focused on her.
It is not for no reason that an agent of Magnus Cryptus has attacked your party. You have done something to take their attention away from whatever their nefarious plots are to attempt to root out you as well. I would be more cautious in the future to those who might be sourced out from them.
I will let my party know.
And if you come across anyone else, I hope that you will relay that information to Mira or myself. And now that you know how to cast message, do you not?
I have the ability to
Or
cast
sending
to Mira only, not
I see.
quite the ability to send it to anyone.
Well, I ask that if you encounter any more items about Dunya or about Magnus Cryptus, to please let Mira know so that she might inform me. So I might pass it around amongst my ranks here to see if we can find the source of this issue and stop their research before more worse things happen, especially in this time of these rifts.
Very well. There is one more thing. This one is more curious, but have you ever heard of anyone tying together the elemental magics?
There are multiple studies that have been done on doing such things. We have research that has been done here at the Alabaster Country. Great care must be taken when combining different elements to make sure they do not clash and have a negative effect on the user. But it has been done. Why, are you interested in doing such things?
As she kind of says that, I'm gonna kind of like raise my hand and kind of have like a little flame appear, like a fire, just normal fire, and then have it transition to kind of cold, icy fog, like frost, and show her that I've done that.
And there's like like in the kind of vicinity that you guys are all standing, there's a noticeable change in temperature as the fire erupts a little bit and then gets icy cold. And she kind of raises her eyebrows up and she goes, "Wow, perhaps I should replace that pin on your shirt with one a little bit higher number."
I would greatly appreciate anything that would help me understand more how the elemental planes are linked to this world.
Well, there is access here at the library to find some more research, and she actually takes the pin off of you, the level 3, and she gives you a 5.
Hell yeah.
And she goes, on the 5th floor, you might find some useful intro into augmenting magic with other elements. I ask you that you tread carefully, though, as you do not want to augment too much. It is a slippery slope. That is how, I'm sure you understand, that is how Dunya was created as well.
Yes, I'm well aware of the evils that beings on this plane can use magic for.
Magical augmentation leads to elemental adeptness. Elemental adeptness leads to celestial augmentation. Celestial augmentation leads to dunya, which leads to nothing but calamity.
I agree.
Let that be a voice of reason in your head as in your studies. But go, experiment. See what you can find. I'd be interested to see on your results.
I will report back. And
All
thank
right.
you for your time. And I'll give her
All right.
a very nice bow.
Okay, she kind of gives you a head nod back, and you guys are ushered back outside. If we want, we can do a quick time jump back to nighttime. If you guys want to do,
Yeah.
is there anything else you guys want to do for the rest of the day?
This is gonna wait till midnight at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
We're going to
Good.
sleep. We're just time jumping. We're time jumping.
Time jump. We can time jump till.
I'm a time jump.
midnight?
If we can time jump to midnight, we're good then. Yeah.
I guess after we're done there, me and Caspian would go to the library and just kind of like fuck around.
Read some books.
Is there anything you guys specifically want to research while you're in the library?
Can
Caspian,
Caspian
is
come with me up into the
researching.
tower? No, right?
No, she cannot.
Only me.
Or he cannot. No, you can go with Caspian into the library at the Falconrite University, but she cannot go ascend the staircase at all in the Alabaster Chondria.
I would feel terrible if I just left you here. Let us go back to the university.
Sure, absolutely, dear.
You guys head
I
back.
can
Is
show
there-
you some of my favorite books in the library.
Ah.
Okay. So we'll say you guys just kind of flip through some books and get a little bit more on the history. After we're finished for tonight, I can give you guys a bit of a lore dump on Valtor if you want.
Oh yeah. That would
Okay.
definitely benefit.
Okay, for sure. All right, so then you guys all converge back at the Silver Coin Inn to do kind of around 11:30. But I'm gonna take a quick break real quick. Let me grab another drink, and then we will continue from there.
Thank you.
Okay.
My voice is getting a little hoarse from talking so much. A bit talking episode for the Kales.
Actually,
yeah, you don't talk for a living, unlike some of us.
Woo!
I actually literally talk for a
Did you
living.
say Nick?
I was gonna ask about walking around the town at night and asking shopkeepers or just
Dude, you would
civilians
look
if
so
they've-
scary at night. No one would want to talk to you.
me.
You're like this motherfucker who's like white hair, white skin with wings, and they are all afraid of anything magical. They would
I'm
be
not
like, ah, and they would
magical.
run away and like bolt their doors.
That's not magic.
Yeah, having wings is like pretty magical.
Being a fucking frog fur man is magic. A bear
You're-
man. All I have is wings. Why does that make me magical?
It's unique and nobody else here has fucking wings.
I guess.
Woo!
They would be scared of you if you walked around alone at night.
Goodness.
This
I
is
could
all
do it at twilight.
big lore
Twilight, so
episode.
you're less scary.
Yeah.
If anything, you'd be more scary because they wouldn't
Very
be able to
big
make
lore
out your
episode.
features or anything.
Perfect.
Are we good?
Yes.
One more sip of
Yeah.
whiskey. There we go.
Alright. Lubricate them right.
Okay. Whew. I hope that was not too much back and forth, but I think those are both cool things you
Good
guys
night.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's honestly, if you don't develop the plot in the world, like when
Yeah.
you're playing D&D,
It just gets static. So
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
lot of plot advancement, a lot of lore, but
My boy
Kinda-
Chendrick has seen some fucked up shit out at sea.
yeah, dude.
Fucking.
Yeah,
He essentially said
Fire.
he literally said he encountered rifts out at sea.
Yeah,
Dude, what's
exactly.
the lore of the ocean, dude? There are
I
fucking
did
sea
miss that. My
monsters.
thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude, let's go get some sea monsters.
I mean, there's this.
Oh my god.
If you look at the map of, let's see, what is it? The map of Nadorac. There's this place called Deepwater Fathoms.
Dude,
Hey,
that
I
is
could
a good
swim
time
down
to
there.
go
Water
there.
fathoms.
Yeah.
Ooh. I
Yeah.
can't even read it.
If you blow up the image, it'll get it.
You blow it up.
Map of that.
Yeah, for sure. Like going out,
Oh,
in
I
the
see.
going out into open ocean and open
That's
water
so far though.
definitely can be sketchy for sure.
We would have
we know.
gone
We
towards
ran
that.
around into a fucking rock nest and almost got killed.
And you guys are only like a couple miles offshore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so where are we right now? Silver
You guys
The
are in
whole
the silver.
reason we're here is
silver
because
coin.
we were on a boat in the first place.
Yeah.
You guys just kind of ended up here. Yeah. Okay. So you guys are in the Silver Coin Inn. The sun is set. The bar scene is a little bit more quiet this evening. There's quite a few, people are inside having drinks and eating dinner, but it's not nearly as rowdy as it was last night. What would you guys like to do? You guys are all sitting around one table.
I'm gonna turn to Dimitri and say, "Where did your friend tell you to meet you tonight?"
Where?
That's where.
Am I breaking up again? I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Where are you guys supposed to meet tonight?
Man, I'm just gonna get on my laptop. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, I know the Squeaky Barstool is the place where they are, but I don't know if he made another meeting point or not.
He said that. That's what he said earlier.
He said the Squeaky Barstool?
Yep.
Then...
Wait, who's going there? Are we all going
I'm
there?
going there.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. I would probably say no.
Yeah,
because
I would say I don't want to go there.
I'd probably say 2, maybe 3, because I'm pretty sure Dimitri's going to come either way.
So what Chendrick said to you guys was, don't come as all one big group. If you guys want to all go in like pairs, but don't all just show up as like a big group.
And I'm chilling with Caspian. Booling.
With
I'll... with me. And if Perfugo wants to tag along, he can.
I will tag along.
Okay, so Aki and Caspian, you guys staying back at the bar?
I mean, I would have rooms at the university, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you would have a place to stay at the university, or
Would I be able to offer Aki rooms there as well?
from what I remember, I think you guys had your rooms covered at the Silver Coin.
Oh,
that's
right.
for 3 days.
I think. Well, no, your ship is docked for 3 days at the Grotto Guild. Some of you have paid for rooms at the Silver Coin Inn, but I think Caspian was granted a room for free, being part of the university.
Yeah, that's probably what they do. Okay, so
Let's head back to the inn. It's quite late. I love reading, but sometimes you must go to sleep as well.
So Aki and Caspian make your way back through the Pigeon West District. The street lamps have kind of been lit. The crowds, the streets are beginning to empty out. You guys finally make it back to Silver Coin Inn. As you open it up, there is a crowd there, but it's relatively tame compared to last night. Oppo, Dimitri, and Perfugo are all sitting around a table. Perfugo's kind of like playing this like new necklace and stuff, and like testing, like putting his finger on water and stuff.
Oh, are you playing cards over there? Let's play some cards.
Just about to head out to a rather nefarious location.
Out? At this hour? Are you mad?
Possibly. But, there's a loose end that needs to be tied.
Ah, yes. I know the meaning of loose ends, that's for sure.
Yeah. Frugo, Dimitri, come along, and I'll get up and head on
Aki
out.
and Caspian, are you guys
Frugo's
gonna go in too or no?
Okay. There's water
I say, good luck.
No.
Don't get killed. It was very nice to meet you, and I would not like to lose a new friend.
I kind of do the eyes on Oppo. Don't let him do any drugs.
It will, yes.
Perfugo, make sure Oppo doesn't let him do any drugs.
Yes.
And
Are
if
you
you
sure
bring
you don't
drugs
just
back
want to
here,
go with him? It's
I swear,
like you know what to do.
I will put a curse on you that I don't even know how to remove.
Hey.
Before I leave, I just want to go, yes, mother. Just walk up the bar.
So, you guys all take to the streets, heading south towards Pigeon East. You guys are all stopped at the gate. All have to pay 1 gold to get your Pigeon East coin. And it is just like a shitty little this little like carved wooden token, honestly. Like it's like this little shitty thing. And as you guys pass through the gate, it is, even compared to Pigeon West, it is it is squalor. It is like rural, like Mumbai, like India, like slum, like just like, half the buildings are just leaning up against each other. There are just like wooden planks put in alleyways as roofs for like people's houses. The streets are uneven, muddy, like slop that just goes up to your shins, honestly, in some places of how deep the mud is. People are walking around in rags. Beggars, homeless people are everywhere. You see a number of different like brothels along the way, just like full of just really sad looking people. And it's just at this hour too, like it's just pretty much just the locals. They're all kind of like squatting in their houses, or there's a few candle lights coming from those who can actually afford to have candles. But most of the district is dark. There are no street lights. There are some candles, but it is mainly just the mud, the streets, and these like the shanty town of buildings.
Is it dark
You
enough
guys,
where we can't really see, or
it's not quite like fully dark. I mean, like there's enough ambient light that's coming around, but it's not like well lit. It's like walking around downtown at night at the shady side of town where there's like no. It's like you're like there's enough lights that I can see, but it's kind of sketchy.
I'm gonna look around for the squeaky bar stool. See if I can find it.
Go ahead and give me a perception check. Anyone else who's looking can help too.
25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, pretty easily. I mean, it's one of the only places in this area that you can actually hear like noise coming from. Like, there's like noise around, but like there's like patrons and drinking and like activity. It seems to be a bit rowdy. You guys approach from the street, kind of walking your way down. You can see that there's probably like 15 to 20 people all standing outside of the bar, like all in kind of conversation, some kind of drunk staggering around. There's one guy pissing on the wall on the side of the alleyway. Another couple of guys are just like face down in the mud, just like unmoving. There's broken bottles kind of lining the streets. It's not a nice area at all. You see the sign of the bar itself is actually just kind of broken off and hanging from one chain that just kind of dangles and squeaks quietly in the breeze.
I know why it's called squeaky.
And you see that most of the windows on this like on the ground floor are broken, and have kind of been like boarded halfway shut. And you hear just a noise happening from inside.
I'm gonna turn to Fugo and Dimitri and just say, keep your eyes open. And this is a shady ass bar town. Who knows what's gonna be in here? And I'm gonna turn to Dimitri and be like, focus. You're stupid shit right now.
Dimitri, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh God.
Okay. That itch is kind of in the back of your neck and your throat, but you're able to kind of squish it down for now, and you're like, okay, I need to focus. But like that, that spice, man, you got it on you, and it tempts you a little bit. You're like I could use right now just a little picker up, but nah, it's okay. I'm okay right now. I'm okay.
How big are the guys that are passed out outside the bar?
There's a couple of them. One of them is kind of like really frail and skinny. The other is kind of a bit like fatter and rotund and kind of lays up on his beer belly, and so his head's, it's more like his forehead's on the ground because it's kind of makes this weird arch like a slug. They're just kind of passed out, laying on the ground. The skinny guy, the skinny guy is unmoving though. They're pretty much just in tattered rags,
Okay.
like just mud plastered. You can hear like the fat guy kind of snoring. Skinny guy, no movement at all.
And then we'll walk inside.
Okay, let me pull up my notes.
A squeaky bar stool.
Okay, you open the door and kind of, and all like the conversations kind of like, and people kind of look over that and kind of just stare you guys all down as you walk in the bar, and kind of conversations just dry up, and just it all just kind of gets really quiet, and watch how I do this. Everyone's just kind of like, and you hear like a few like squeak, as like the people in bar stools are like squeaking, looking towards you, and like probably about 10, 15 seconds of just long, hard stare,
Well, don't get up on my account. And I'm
and
just
then
gonna
they
sort of
they
walk to the
slowly
bar.
kind of go back to their drinks, and the chatter kind of returns back to the bar itself.
I'm going to walk
I
up
look
to,
around for the little robe dude.
I'm gonna walk up to the bar.
Give me a perception check. Oppo, as you walk up to the bar, there is this like guy, completely bald, like shaved bald, covered in like patchwork tattoos, and he's got just broken. Of the teeth he has left are broken. He's missing most of them. And Dimitri, you do not see this elf figure at all. And he comes up to you and he goes, "Hey, what do you have?"
I'm gonna pull out the coin that I got earlier and sort of tap it on the bar and say, I hear this is a place where they sell the finest Munster cheese.
He kind of looks down at you and goes, "Hey, well, you may be heard right." And he like scoops the coin off the table and just pours you a beer and slides it across.
May I have a face-to-face with these
Man, let me fucking drink first, mate.
Just down the whole ale and just back on the thing.
Puts a. What about your friends? They want a beer too? You, big man. Big turtle fuck. You want a beer?
Yeah.
He just spit glass.
Yeah. Slides across. Hey, a fucking beer, you fuck. And what about you? Big chicken wing fuck.
Oh.
Profuga is just gonna look at him and say, "What did you say I was? That's not
I
my
called
name."
you a big chicken wing fuck. Want a fucking beer?
Two,
Hey.
please. You ugly chicken wing fuck.
He kind of was like, and kind of.
And I'm gonna grab them both and just chug at the same time and say, "Thank you, chicken wing."
All right, Dimitri, give me a medicine check.
Medicine check. Have the shits.
It just kind of smells like snotty beer.
Good then.
All right, you drink it. Little twinge on the aftertaste. It's yummy. And then he's like, he kind of looks at you up and down, and he goes, "All right, so you have Munster cheese,
Sir?
How many weapons you got on ya?"
Yes, we do.
How many weapons is you have on ya? One.
Lots.
A lot.
Lots. All
Tell
right.
how many.
I don't want to see none of them in his hands.
They'll be just where they are now.
All right. He kind of looks all you up and down, and then he kind of straightens up, and turns back and pulls one of the bottles on the back wall, and he opens one of the bar up, and he goes, "All right, head down inside."
I will
And
slowly walk.
you guys all go down, and the conversation as the back wall opens. You guys all so there's a big the back wall of the bar is opened. There's a staircase leading down. After he's opened up the bar itself and pulled the bottle, the conversation has died again inside the bar. Every single eye is on you guys,
Oh,
and
jeez.
the guy who was like, you chicken wing fuck. He's just kind of like sitting there, and he's looking at all three of you, and he's like, "Get down inside."
And I will walk inside.
You walk down this. Appa walks down the stairs.
Follow him.
Dimitri follows down the stairs.
All goes well.
You go down the stairs, and then you hear like this as the door closes, and then and then you fucking get that fucking drink out, yeah, come on, and then like the ruckus of the bar continues on back that way.
We're in it now. The bartender's voice like changed when the door opened, correct?
It did.
Like his tone.
His
Okay.
demeanor changed.
Right.
As you guys descend multiple flights of stairs, the sound of sweet music, kind of like jazz, hits you guys' ears. You guys descend one level and then 2 levels down into the sub-basement of this establishment. Standing at the top of the stairs, you approach to a large balcony that there is a fine dressed butler waiting for you at this section of the staircase. And he's like, "Good evening, gentlemen. How do you do?"
Good, how are you? I'm about one whiskey, please.
I'm exquisite. Drinks may be procured at the bar themselves. I am here to procure your weapons from you.
Yes, I'll have 2 daggers, please.
And he gestures towards like a lockbox in the corner, and he goes, "Please secure all of your armaments within the chest themselves. I will be providing you with keys in order to return them on your exit." And you guys, all of you guys, can do perception checks.
Oh god. Oh, natural 20. Let's go.
So, Aklo, you guys all take a look out over this balcony, kind of peering down, because the stairs continue down into this open room. The walls are freshly painted, nice. There are these long kind of pillars that kind of separate and break up the room. There are a number of these seating areas that are kind of in these circular shaped patterns that kind of go down 2 or 3 steps down into this area with large, soft plush pillows that are all sitting around. Finely dressed women and men are all kind of sitting around having drinks. There's a number of card tables and gambling booths over to the side. You guys see that there is a long bar. And kind of intermixed with those are like a bunch of just very, like, not like tatteredly dressed, but like, you know, dark leather clad, very thug looking kind of people. But they all seem to be kind of mingling together, and nothing really seems to be going on. And every so often you hear this like, "Hey!" and a cheer goes up as like someone's winning a bunch of money at a table, and it looks fantastic. There's these long silken strands, that kind of curtains that descend from the ceiling to separate some of the gambling tables and the sitting areas, and it looks nice as fuck. Like, it is like bougie as hell as you guys have come down here. Like, complete polar opposite from the bar upstairs. And the butler's like, "If you would please, no weapons allowed on the betting floor."
Begrudgingly lay my sword down and my crossbow.
Okay.
Fugo will kind of stare at him, like, obviously annoyed, and slowly just, like, take out his sword, take out his great axe, take out a javelin,
So clang,
take out a
clang,
battle axe, take
clang,
out another great
clang.
sword, and say, "There you are."
Are any of you guys hiding weapons?
I was like, can I see if he notices a dagger that I keep in like behind me in a back kind of like back waist part of my
Give me
armor?
a sleight of hand check.
That is what rogues are for. Except for right now.
He kind of goes, "Please, if you would be so kind, no weapons allowed on the gambling floor." And he holds his
Twirl
hand
my
out.
fingers, just checking.
That is what I'm here for. So he grabs it and puts it, and each of you guys are given keys to each of your own lock boxes that are kind of set on the wall. And he kind of like, "Now, enjoy yourself, win some coin, have some drinks. Welcome." And he kind of steps back, and you guys are free to descend the stairs down to the floor.
Before we go, I'm gonna say, who's in charge here?
That would be the Emberlight, sir.
Emberlight. Can you point him out to me?
Oh yes, of course, sir. He's in the high stakes table down there to the left, and you see this this very, very well dressed in like this tuxedo with like silken trim, a black tuxedo. This kind of fiery haired man that is just sitting there with like kind of this very kind of not like hot dog red, but like very like kind of glowing ember red skin. And he's sitting there, and he's got 2 beautiful women on either side, both of them holding drinks, and he's just like holding dice out, and then they blow on it, and he rolls it on the table, and it's like, "Ha ha ha! I win again!" Perfect. And be like, oh, but please, help yourself. Drinks on me. And like the patrons, get up and go have some drinks. And you do also notice, standing on this balcony though, a character that you guys didn't notice before, is a man, a human, who is standing there, large cowboy hat on, and slung in his arms there's this long wooden pole of some kind with bits of metal on it. And he's got these big boots on, and he's got this kind of flowing cloak that kind of shits over his shoulders, kind of like a poncho. And he goes, y'all have fun down there, you hear? Don't get too crazy.
Will do.
All right. You all behave yourselves, and I'll behave myself. And I'll go have some fun.
No.
And
Walk down.
he kind of like slings this like large wooden stick with this like hole at the end of it with metal pieces on it over his shoulder, and kind of just like turns to like face the balcony and just kind of watches over the crowd.
I'm gonna walk towards the table that the Ember Light is at.
You guys descend down the stairs, and a couple people glance up at you. You guys aren't super dressed for like the formal occasion, so they kind of take note of you guys. You're looking a little bit out of place, but the Ember Light turns and looks at you guys. He goes, oh, I was wondering when you would all arrive. Please, before any formalities, help yourself to some drinks. And he gestures over towards the bar.
I will go.
Then come join me at my table.
I'll go get a whiskey and come on back. Yeah, what's the game they're playing?
They're playing dice.
Hey,
They're playing
Dice.
craps. What's the buy-in for this table? So you walk up.
Yeah.
So you bypass the bar and just boom, 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 boom.
Same.
What is buy-in? And the dealer turns around to you. The buy-in for this table is 15,000 gold.
Ugh!
Are you interested in partaking?
Oh, make it dead!
We do offer finance-free loans here within the establishment as well. 0 interest for the night. Would you be interested in taking a loan out?
3% APR afterwards.
1,000 gold?
15,000 gold loan.
Could no. Whoa, wait, could you potentially win 15,000 gold though?
If you win more than 15,000 gold, if you make more money, then you can pay off 15,000 gold for the night and take whatever you win back. But if you lose it, you're in the debt 15,000 gold.
15 grand.
Yeah.
Right, enough of that.
He goes. He turns to you. The Ember Light turns to you. He goes, "Gentlemen, please. You are gumptious, and I love that. But please, have yourself a drink first. Loosen up a bit. Get the scene. Get the vibe. We don't want to go right to betting. We have much to talk about. Please. Have a drink, please." And he kind of like walks with you guys over to the bar. Pafugo, what are you doing?
Fugu is gonna walk up to the bar and say, "What is your drink of choice, friend?"
Oh, that would be the resident drink, the Ember, which is a shot of a brandy bourbon mixed with cinnamon liqueur and a splash of cream.
Is it named after you, sir?
It's named after the local patron, yes. And the Ember's like, yes, it's named after me.
Oh, I thought he walked up to the bar.
He walked up with you, but the bartender's asking you.
Oh, okay. I'll have 2 of those, please. 1 for me and 1 for the Ember.
I'll take one as well.
My sir, you are much too kind. And the bartender goes, all right, 3 Embers coming up, and starts to make the mixology. And you look this guy up and down. He's got this like flaming. The hair kind of just goes up as if like it's like he styles straight up. It's bright red with streaks of orange in it. He's got these orange gold flecked irises. And just standing near him, he kind of radiates a little bit of heat to him. And he goes, it's just my vibe, baby. And you guys all
He seems human.
give me a
Do I know what he
history.
is?
Give me a history check, all of you, if you guys are curious.
It's +1 because I suck at history.
Fuck.
I think I rolled a 17.
None of you guys really know what he is. He seems humanoid, at least. Like he's got all hands, arms, legs, feet, face. No weird appendages. He just appears to be like a man, but just very red, and giving off like heat. And he turns, he goes, now that we've had our drinks, and he turns to the bartender and he goes, please, some champagne for the table. And he gestures you guys over towards one of the sitting areas where it kind of goes down into a small depression with a large round table, and he kind of sits in the back, and he goes, please, all friends, sit.
Should sit and relax. And,
Okay.
we got a visit from a couple of your, let's call them grunts.
Oh, that's a much
yesterday.
more barbaric term for that. I like to call them employees.
Oh, they're out in the streets doing street work, so
Well, I must have eyes
I
and
know a
ears.
grunt when I see one.
And Dimitri and Perfect, are you guys sitting as well?
Yes, I will also sit.
Okay. And he goes, well, right to business then. I like that. Direct. So, I had some little birds whispering to me that some new adventuring parties have come into town. That always piques my curiosity. We don't get many adventuring parties coming through these parts anymore. It's been a bit of a dry spell, if you know what I mean. But business has been steady. And I was wondering if perhaps you were interested.
Depends.
Yeah, depends on what.
What you're willing to give in response to us helping.
Oh, I haven't asked you for anything yet, have I?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure you will.
Be it, you are a bit forthright. Let us get to know each other a little bit better before we get to the brass tacks, you know? I like to gauge my potential clients and employees before I, show my hand, if you so to speak. Do you all gamble at all?
Gamble? Sure.
Yeah, would you like to sit and talk and perhaps play a hand?
But first, another drink.
Oh, of course. At this point, he snaps his fingers, and the waiter comes over and brings the champagne, and pops the bottle and pours you guys all glasses, and he goes, "Oh, this is quite an evening, one that I'll remember for quite some time." Then he takes a bit of a drink and cheers to new friends.
New friends. I'll sort of cheers skeptically a little bit.
All of you three, give perception checks, please.
Natural 20. These are
I'm gonna
really
nat
wow.
20, but I have a -2.
It's okay. A natural 20 is a natural 20. So 2 natural 20s and a 15. In a 21. Okay. You guys do notice, like, they're hiding it very, very well, and it's only because you guys have been accustomed to dealing with a lot of people and shady types that you pick up on these cues. Most of the grunts, like most of the foot workers that are in this building, not necessarily the patrons, like they couldn't give a fuck about who you are, but everyone who is armed in this establishment is watching this table. That includes the cowboy-looking fuck at the entrance. It includes a number of bodyguards who have kind of moved in behind him, like standing behind the couch. They're not super close to like be intimidating, but they're just kind of standing around talking with each other. But you'll catch glances from them every once in a while watching the table. You also, in Profugo and Apo, you guys notice that standing off to one side is the cloaked elven figure, the human that you saw from yesterday, as well as a black scale dragonborn who is hood up, and they all are in different positions around the room, but they're all tuned in to what's going on at this table. No one's made any aggressive moves, but they're all carefully watching you.
I'm gonna lean into the Emberlight and just be like, seems like you don't trust us.
Well, trust is hard earned.
Fair enough.
I have welcomed you into my home, but I must make sure that you are not unruly house guests. I'm sure you understand. It's just business.
What are we playing?
Oh, we're playing my favorite. Dice. Chance. Chance it is.
How much you willing to put down?
Oh, I mean, I'm willing to put down quite a lot. But how much are you willing to put down? I don't want to put my guests in any bit of a predicament. We'll start the bet at 5 gold. And he just kind of chink, puts 5 gold on the table. And a stack.
10 gold. I'll put 10 gold down.
10 gold? 10 gold.
Are the
All
dice
right.
out?
The dice have not been brought to the table yet.
Okay.
Look,
Dimitri, are you guys playing?
I'll put in 5.
Okay. You put in. Well, the bet is 10 currently. Are you putting in
it's
just
10.
5?
I'll
yeah.
match.
Oppo
I tried to
raised.
flex.
Oppo flexed to 10. Dimitri, you 10 gold in? Yeah. Was that a yes? Sorry. Okay. All right. So simple. You guys roll 2d6. Whoever's got the highest number wins.
D6. Alright. 4. Ooh, Dimitri, good job. Fugo, 9, good job.
My compliments to the new friend. Congratulations. So you get 10, 20, 30 gold on top of your 10.
Okay.
And you guys slide the chips over.
Do
Well,
we
yeah, go
notice
for it.
anything strange about not the dice that we rolled, but the dice that he has, I guess?
Ooh,
Give
yeah.
me a perception check.
Okay. Son of a bitch.
Just kind of seemed like dice.
A little drunk.
A little drunk. Seems like dice. So, now that we've gotten a bit to know each other. So, what are all your names? I'm very curious.
Zach, are you talking?
I
Yeah,
can't
it's
hear any
okay.
audio from you, Zach. Nope.
Hold on, let me see.
It's not picking up your mic as you're talking on Discord.
Oh, it says you're muted.
It says you're muted.
Where are you muted?
It's not picking up your.
Automatically.
It's not picking up your mic on Discord.
Fucking Discord, man.
Discord needs to fix their shit.
Yeah, I saw him doing this, so I assumed he wanted us to stop.
But nothing is gonna work today.
There we go.
There we
I
go.
can hear you. There we go. Okay, yeah. So
As we're like leaning over to pick up our dice, I want to like accidentally knock the dice around, like clumsy, big hands, like.
Okay. Give me a performance check, I guess.
And do I kind of see him going to do that?
Dimitri.
Yes. Like, do I see him before he knocks everything over?
Dimitri, do you make a signal towards Perfugo first?
Yeah, I'll kind of like gesture over to him
Okay.
and be like, I'll offer to get him his dice. Like, here, let me grab your dice.
Okay, so Dimitri,
So
make
what?
a performance check, and Perfugo, make a deception check. If you're doing anything about it.
I was just going to take one of the chips on the table and cast light, and then like maybe slide it off in a direction.
Oh, okay. I mean, when you
To add to the
cast,
distraction.
so when you're casting light, it's verbal, somatic. So you're saying a word, a magical word of power, and you're making a gesture. Like it's very obvious
Sleight
that
of
you're
hand.
casting magic.
Yeah.
Would you like to obviously cast magic on this? You would know that. You would know this as Perfugo. Would you like to
No.
obviously cast magic on this
I
coin?
would not.
Okay.
However, I would like to I'd like to act and give in to whatever Dimitri's doing. Say, oh yes, thank you, friend, for my dice.
Okay. So Dimitri, you kind of fumble it. So are you trying to like forward the
I'm
dice
trying to
roll?
like just pick up the dice, but accidentally like scatter them about.
Okay, yeah, you kind of pick them up and just like they all kind of scatter up and he's like, oh, easy, friend, easy. No need to be nervous, We're all friends here. So another
So
round.
like, our dice is mixed up.
Yep, all the dice are mixed up.
Okay.
Sure, another round.
Another round.
All right, shall we up the stakes a little bit? 100 gold.
How about instead we play with secrets instead?
We're not that good friends yet. Now we're just getting to know each other.
I thought you were a gambling man. That's your
Give me a
confidence.
persuasion check.
Can I add on to this and say, now what do we have to hide? You have armed guards, we're in your home. Any secret you have would be safe with us. We have nothing to hide from you.
Ooh, do we advantage then?
I'll say either roll with advantage or give me a deception check, Perfugo.
If I can roll with advantage, because I got a high persuasion.
Advantage, go for it.
Alright.
He kind of puts his hands up on the table and he goes, let's play first. 100 gold is my bet.
100 gold. I'd only be willing to do 50.
I don't want to.
Unlike you, I'm not a crazy rich man.
I don't want to gouge my guests. I just thought you were a bit of a risk taker.
The secret was for.
We'll get to that. 50 gold on the table.
I'm going to sit this one out.
50 gold it is.
Dimitri?
All right.
50 gold.
Oh, shit.
2d6. Let him roll.
D6.
Okay.
7. Split the pot. All right. So we both get 75 gold. So Dimitri, you lose 50 gold. Uppo, 75 back. You get 25 back. He gets 25. Oh, quite
Starting
interesting.
to get a little angrier.
Quite interesting. Quite interesting. Easy, my good friend. My good friend. Here. And he snaps his fingers, and more drinks arrive. He goes, please, here, have something to help cool that anger that I see building up in your eyes. Another drink on me, on the house. Now, shall we get to brass tacks? We got a little gambling out of the way. What is your name? All of you.
Just drips.
Give me a deception check.
I thought you would notice that one.
Of course you would notice.
You would, but what's his face wouldn't. Oh, now I roll a nat 20.
Trips. Pleasure to meet you. A fitting name for one of your stature.
It comes in handy every now and then.
And you, my big green friend.
I am Dmitri, son of Vladimir Skutin.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you, son of Skutin.
Son of Scootin.
Scoop.
And you, my winged friend.
I am Doranius of the Celestial Realm.
Is that your real name?
Nope.
Give me a deception check.
I said Doranius.
Doradius.
You should have said Ligma. My name's Ligma.
I am Bofa of Taldori.
Deception check. He's like, so what name did you give him? Doradius?
Doradius.
Doradius. You see him like a little bit of a twitch at his eye, but he goes, Doradius. Pleasure-
See that?
Pleasure to
Twitch.
meet you.
Okay. Do I see the twitch? Design?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say, I understand. It is an odd name. It can be difficult to pronounce. My people are not from here.
No, I take it not from the wings. Now, I'm sure you're all wondering why I invited you here. Well, as being new adventurers to town, you have no ties here. Right? You come and you go as you please. You seek adventure. Whether you're here or somewhere else, it really matters not for you. Is that correct?
Or less at this point in time.
Right, so you are more or less flexible. Now, I believe some of my employees approached you at a bar last night. It was a bit brash, and I reprimanded them for it. People of your stature do not need to be tempted with such trivial, lower class things as spice trade. Now, but I imagine you're in the game of money.
I need information.
Well, it happens that I am an expert in both. Now, I've got a few propositions for you in exchange for such things as money and favors. Are you interested? Or shall we just gamble?
Let him out. Let's hear him out.
Well, there is one condition. That condition is, I do not divulge my business with those who I do not trust. And although we are friends now, I do not trust you. Not at all. And until you have gained my trust, In order to work for me, I must have some assurances, as you understand that my business is sometimes less than upholding of the law. But there is much money and much influence to be gained by working with me. Now, if you are still interested, I can continue talking. But there are some conditions that must be met before I divulge my business to have with you.
You'd be able to divulge how, quote unquote, illegal these things are?
Let me put it this way. If you work for me, the deals that you'll be working with in this city will not be a problem with you. Now, I cannot vouch for how the legality of some of these operations will be seen outside of this city and outside of this country, but rest assured, there is still good money to be made. Let's say that the guards in the city know to look the other way when dealing with me and my employees.
I've been in this world before. Actually, I've been in the more heinous part of this world,
And he speaks to you in Thievescant. He goes, "Yes, I could tell."
respond back at these can't saying, "It's a world I am trying to leave."
In back in common, he
But
goes,
I will.
"Yes, but money is always good, right? I assume that you all could use money. I mean, judging by the way we were betting earlier, I'm sure you guys could definitely use some money."
What are the tasks?
He snaps his fingers, and a tiefling girl in very kind of skimpy clothing walks up, and she's carrying a large chest, and she places it on the table and opens it up. Inside, there are 5 vials, and there's a single knife and a rolled piece of parchment. He goes, "Unfortunately for you, in order to divulge my business with you, I must have my assurances, as I said. If the amount of gold," and he snaps his fingers, and he produces a chest that he also sits next to the one before that, opens it up. Inside there are they're not gold pieces, they are gold bars. Probably somewhere in the nature of like 20 to 30,000 gold worth. And he goes, "Is this something that you might be interested in?"
I'm gonna lean back to the group and say, "It could fund us for the wars with the death crawlers."
Yes,
What
it
do you
could.
think, guys?
And let me sweeten the deal with you. You do these tasks for me, and you work for me, doing things that I might require. I should not be too much of a hindrance on your travels, but when the time comes and I need your services, I expect that you will come when you are called. However, you'll have access to a vast network of resources that I've built over many, many generations. I am much older than I appear. This might aid you in other realms and other territories other than the city. However, in order to work with me, I do require just a little bit of your blood.
What's the blood for?
The blood is an assurance." And he gestures towards the vial and the knives, and he goes, "A blood contract is required, so that you may gain my trust. Do not break my trust, and we shall have no issue."
Will you be signing the contract as well? Since
Oh.
we must uphold part of our deal, must you not as well?
"Oh, but of course. I'm a fair businessman."
Then, if you sign first, I will sign as well.
Ha, but you are sitting in my house. And I have also placed my gold in front of you.
Yes, but the guest is always right, no?
In some instances. I have laid the terms of our agreement in front of you. Accept them or not, that is up to you. I am happy to just drink and gamble if you wish.
Apple will slowly reach out his finger and say, "Way, this is backstabbing. You will regret it."
Well, I'm a fair businessman. You enter a contract with me, I'll honor the terms of the contract. You cross me, and I cannot guarantee your safety.
Can we tell if he's lying?
Give me an insight check.
I think it's just a flat. Nope, not at all. Insight, you said, right?
Insight, yeah. He seems,
Nope.
Dimitri, you can do it as well? Yeah. Kind of hard to read. I mean, essentially he's produced himself as the leader of this underground organization in front of you. He's placed a large sum of gold in front of you, but seems to be putting the terms out in front of you as straight as you can see it.
One question. If we give you our blood, enter this contract, you tell us what it is, and we say no, what happens then?
Oh, well then that makes it difficult for me. This is, information and, inside of my business that I cannot let allow freely amongst the streets. I am afraid that if you agree to the terms of our contract and then turn them down, you will not be leaving this establishment tonight. And he kind of like grows a little grin, and like you guys all like eyes start to like the many people standing in this room that are watching this conversation.
Guards are watching this right now, theoretically.
Okay, so there's cowboy guy, there's elfin person, there's human, ripped human guy, there's the
Black
Dragonborn, and then probably between 30 to 35 other thugs amongst the patrons.
30 to 35.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty big hall you guys are in, but there's a lot of people who would attack you if you pulled some shit.
How far could my fog cloud go if it was 80 feet across? Could it fill the room?
No, it would not fill the room. The room is probably about 100 feet by 100 feet. It's like a full casino hall. It's like a big thing. It's like set deep in this cliff.
That's the best I could do is throw a giant fog cloud and we could run after you here, but
and just to possibly add another dissuasion of crossing me as soon as we've entered into a contract, which is the fact that you are asking this is not building confidence a little bit, but the blood that I have would allow me to find you wherever you are, this plane or not.
I mean, if we enter this contract and you tell me to go murder some innocent person...
Oh, no, nothing quite like that. I can tell you the nature. It is more about transportation.
Okay. Well then, yeah.
I'm a businessman. I'm not a murderer. Only when it is necessary for business.
Look to the group and say, like, give eyes, like, what do you think?
Hold on.
I can also
go over it in his head.
Also, in exchange for gold, perhaps as a replacement, I can also offer information as well. Apollyon, no, what would you say? Drips, right? Drips, as it was, right? You said that you were interested in information, right? I also happen to have a very vast network of informants.
The sign of faith. Could you demonstrate some information for me that I...
As a sign of good faith, I have given you free drinks and welcome to my establishment.
I mean, that was...
Anything after that is business, and business is business, unfortunately.
And, I mean, how do I know that all the information you give me is not just bullshit and you're not just using me?
Oh, I'm 100% using you for something. But in exchange for using you, I will reward you in gold or information of which you would require. And he gestures into the 3 bars of gold that are just sitting in this chest. And he goes, see? There's gold here for you.
One final question for me. If we accept this contract, do any of the deeds we do or any of the acts we may perform, would we be at risk for taking our own lives or risking the lives of others around us or maybe their reputations? How can we be sure that those that know us will not be harmed or that their name will not be tarnished?
Well, if the business that I have specifically involves whomever it is you're talking about, then I cannot guarantee that. But I can guarantee that the business that I do is purely for the sake of monetary gain and advancement of my own industry. I do not seek to have political unrest and turmoil. Actually, I, like to ride on the side of those types of things. Whether it's conflict or not, my business happens as usual. As you might have already gathered, I have many interests, one of those being the spice trade. But I also am in the business of procurement of different interests, if you might say. But I will not be throwing you in deep water and hoping you can swim.
Appo smirks at that.
Yes, I thought you might enjoy that pun. Not my type swimming.
Figure not.
And every so often, as you're watching him talk, just like small, like not like necessarily sweat, but like small embers, like coals, like come off his face and kind of like spark off of his body, like little dazzling, like it was like a little sparkler, but very very small. Just ever so slightly.
I'll lean back to the group and say, I figure we're probably gonna have to steal something from some legal authority.
How about this?
But
I'll give you the night to think about it. We have not entered into a contract. As far as I'm concerned tonight, we've just met and had some drinks. However, I do have many eyes on the city, and if you attempt to go to the authorities, I'm sorry, you'll be very disappointed in your results. But at least let me give you these. And he passed you guys 3 tokens again, the same one that you had before. The Emberlight token with, essentially a code word on the back. He goes, these allow you re-entrance to my establishment, if you so desire. Why don't you take a night, think about it.
Will do, and I'll take my token.
If not, come back, gamble, have drinks, be merry. There's much riches to be had here on the tables as well.
Okay.
Alright, well, our business
You
is
guys
concluded
leaving?
for the evening.
Yep.
Alright.
Let's gamble.
The chests are closed, they're whisked away, and kind of as you guys stand up from the table, the guards kind of go back to their business. Eyes glance at you occasionally, but you guys are essentially kind of ushered your way out, unless you wish to stay and gamble.
I want to watch where they're carrying the gold off and then go gamble.
Okay, so by the bar, there is another window kind of onto the left side of the wall that is like iron bars except for a small slot, which is essentially where like people exchange for chips and stuff. It is brought through a heavy iron door through the back of that, and there's like a few tables that are scattered around that area that are just full of like thugs essentially. They're all just kind of sitting around that area. That's where all the money's being kept and exchanged from the table, from the floor to the back of the room. And there's also a doorway, an archway between those two on the back corner that you can kind of glance through, and you see there's another small like window area back in there where every so often you'll see. Actually, give me a perception check. Every so often you'll see a patron of the bar who is not dressed like a thug, or might be a thug, kind of make their way back into that room for a second, and then make their way back out, but coming straight in, down the past the floor, into that room, and then back out. They don't stop at any of the tables, they don't stop at the bar, they're just kind of doing business, it looks like.
I'm gonna, as I walk to get my stuff, I'm gonna walk by the elf and just say, next time, don't be so scared. And then just sort of...
No response.
I'm gonna walk up behind. I'm gonna follow Oppo basically and grab my stuff, and just not really say anything and get on out.
You guys leave there. Dimitri, how long do you stay in Gamble for?
Just a few hours.
Okay.
I want to occasionally be like wandering around, scoping it out, and then like.
Okay.
Moving from table to table, basically.
Give me a perception check, and also how much would you like to gamble? How much do you try to gamble over the course of a night?
200 gold.
Okay, 200 gold. I will say, give me
Yeah, I don't see
8.
shit.
Okay, you're kind of just invested in gambling. Give me a percentile dice, please.
Okay.
So 2 d10s.
Discord just freaked out again. 2d10?
Yep.
Is that what you said?
Yep. Okay. You make a 10% return on your investment.
Okay.
So you walk out with, what is that?
20 gold.
220 gold?
20 gold, yeah.
And you kind of leave for the evening. And as you guys leave the swath, you guys make your way back to the Silver Coin Inn. The jazz music fades behind you as you walk up the stairs, back up into the Rustle Tussle bar upstairs. And that is where we are going to end it for the evening.
All right. Bing
All
bong.
right. Bing bong.
Mm.
First interaction. First interaction
Guy
with the Thieves
sketches me
Guild.
out, man. He sketches me the
Yeah,
fuck out.
so sketchy.
Out.
But the way I see it is like if we make this blood contract, there's two people, Aki and Caspian, who are not in this contract.
Exactly.
We could potentially, I mean, it would be very hard to sneak around and do this with, kind of thing.
We
Yeah.
should ask Aki if he knows anything about blood
Does-
contract.
I mean,
because
was it essentially like 20,000 gold was what he was going to give us for it?
Like 30k. It was like 10k a bar, I think, or was it 30k in each bar?
Dylan?
It was like 30k total.
I think it was 30k total.
All right, sorry, I froze there for a second.
There you are.
Oh, wait, Caitlin, how much was in the chest? Was it like 20 or 30k?
I mean, there was 3 gold bars, and roughly estimated they're like worth 10,000 apiece.
Okay.
So if we were roughly going to get 30,000 gold, basically, which is basically between 5 people is 6,000 apiece.
6,000, yeah.
That's some serious cash. Some serious cash he's throwing
Not to
around.
mention, I want to try and ask him about the Magnus Charybdis because he's an underground network. He probably knows some shit. More than like the freaking authorities would know. Kind of
He also said he's been around for a while. We don't know what that means, but he doesn't. He looks humanoid, but he's like fucking sweating heat.
Fire, yeah.
So.
I mean,
So I can give you guys a little bit of lore on Valtora if you'd like at this time too.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so Valtora, if you guys want to pull up the map. Map of Nadorac. So Valtora. So Gresher is not the capital of Valtora. Ravenfort is, but Gresher is one of the largest. It is essentially the largest city on the east coast of Nadorac. It's the biggest port city. It was also the location of Ground Zero for the previous campaign, where the Archmage of the Alabaster Ichondria essentially had murdered the king of Valtora and used his platform to outlaw all magic and attempts to control all of it for himself. He was the one who also attempted to summon the Drowned God to the material plane through the cult of the Drowned God as well. So this was essentially where a big battle took place, and there's attacks on the tower. The Vesta Timberlands, which is north of Gresher, was the source of where most of the cult activity was taking place. But Gresher itself kind of holds itself as one of the big meccas of the area. Valtora itself is known as a pretty typical 13th century kingdom. However, once the war was won on the favor of the previous adventuring party and the Guild of Adventurers, their government came down from Altarine, which is in Windurin, to take over and essentially become the government of Valtora. So it's not technically a kingdom; it's technically more or less like a democracy. But there's a head chancellor of Valtora who sits in Ravenfort. But the city itself, after being rebuilt 150 years ago, has kind of fallen into the same rhythms as it has before. There's very much a class divide in Gresher. The rich is very much segregated from the poor. Valtora itself has been a seat of corruption. I mean, money talks in this land. The more money you have.
Head out, guys. So
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye.
The more money you have seems to be the easier it is to to operate in this kingdom. Yeah. Is there any other specific questions you guys had about this? Think of like medieval Europe, right? Like the king has the most money, the most power, the very big class divides, and those with more wealth and more influence and more power can do it. The Thieves Guild that you guys have been encountered, the Swath, has been around for essentially as long as the land has, and you guys just encountered them for the first time tonight.
Alright. So if you could send me like descriptions of all important characters that I've met, like the leader
Wow.
of the university, of Farron.
You guys gotta take notes.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
why
am,
didn't
but
you take notes?
I did take notes.
Why does he have to
So
send you a description?
I mean, it doesn't have to. I just feel like we can put it in the handouts, like how we have for all terrain.
So I'll just kind of go through it real quick right now, because some of the stuff like I also make up on the spot. Farron Summerwind is the Archmage of the Alabaster Ichondria. She was a cleric of the previous campaign's party.
Okay.
She was an NPC. Essentially, she's an elf, so she lives for hundreds of years. So 150 years for her is not that long. So Farron Summerwind is the Alabaster Ichondria. The Quinn is the scribe you guys met from the Chapter Arcanum here. Demetrius Falconright is the name of the headmaster.
Okay.
You guys only have met the leader of the Swath as the name Emberlight or Ember. You're not sure of his real name.
Swath was what the Oppo was just doing.
The Swath is the Thieves Guild.
I'm not right
What else? Brynjolf is the head officer of the Merchants Grotto Guild, and his office is in here. He oversees essentially everything. Jalith is the orc from the Silver Coin Inn, and Chendrick is the dwarf you guys met. The dwarf ship hand or merchant. Oh shit! I forgot to do something. Damn. Okay. Next time. Anything else I missed? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I think you got it all.
Sweet. Yeah, a lot of lore this episode, but good shit, good plot development, new players coming to the table, fun stuff. I'm interested to see if you guys take up any contracts with the Thieves Guild.
With this spicy boy,
The spicy boy. He's got a lot of gold.
he sketches me out.
You
Gold
should.
doesn't matter. I don't trust him.
You shouldn't. He doesn't trust you either.
He's gonna fuck us over.
Rob,
Yeah, there's only one way to
seems
find.
like a bad plan.
Only one way to find out.
Just do it.
No.
Just do it.
I feel like he would. I feel like the blood thing he would sell to somebody, and that would fuck us over when somebody else
Like-
needs to find us. Like being able to find us anywhere.
Yeah.
That sounds terrible.
Yikers.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, what he was saying was he would hold on to your blood until you became full members of the Swath, and then you guys get your blood back. But,
You get your blood back.
but until he trusts you not to fuck him over, he holds the collateral. But that's kind of his terms, really.
Yikes. Good job, guys. You sold your blood.
No, he didn't.
Not yet. Not
I
yet.
don't plan on it. I'm planning on getting
Idea of selling
the
blood.
fuck out of this bar.
If you ever guys want to go gamble, you know where to do it now.
That is true.
There's a
Hey,
big
that
ass.
way
There's a
you
big
get
ass
that
nice
ring.
casino. It's a big ass nice casino in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. Hell yeah. It's a
Maybe.
quick cash grab.
I just love that. I just love that environment of just like the shittiest bar and then like the super nice casino downstairs of like
Yeah.
jazz music and did you guys recognize any other characters that I said? Adrian, you should have recognized one character I'd mentioned because actually he's a character that I play as
Was that Jags the cowboy?
That was Jegs.
Was it?
Yeah, Jegs.
Yeah, that's
Jegs. Jegs is
I didn't
originally
notice
part
at
of
all.
because he had this large wooden stick with a hole in the end of it with metal bits on it.
Oh
You,
my
don't,
Yeah, what
you
was
guys,
that?
you guys don't know what guns are.
That's
Like
true.
he has this big, like essentially like this modern like rifle.
You
he has-
said that, and I was just like, is he talking about a fucking gun? I was like, there's no, he's talking about a fucking gun.
You guys know what cannons are, but as far as you guys know, there's really not a whole lot of like handheld firearms that you've seen. They exist, but they're
Wow.
very rare. But Jegs seems to have one.
Question.
That's kind of funny. Like that's where Jegs originally was from. Was like he was part of the swath.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never would have guessed.
What's up?
Do the other patrons of the upstairs bar, do they? I mean, I would assume they know that there's another level further down.
Oh, I mean like
If they all look
yes.
at us.
Every single person in that bar upstairs was swath member.
Gotcha. That's what I figured.
Yeah, like as you guys gave him the coin, you know, he gave you guys a beer, and then you know gave enough time to like so everyone could eye you over and get what you look like, and then as soon as he opens it up and opens it downstairs, all their conversation stopped, and we're just watching you. And then the bartender's voice changed, like he was just acting, and then you guys went downstairs, and then the bar scene resumed upstairs. Essentially, like just it's a big front.
So the university is called Falconright University.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Which is led by Professor Demetrius Falconright. So Demeterius. Demetrius Falconright.
Got it.
Demetrius.
And he wants to recruit the party for magical expeditions. In
Essa-
exchange, we get access to the university.
Yeah, essentially he was like, hey, you guys should work together because all of my other expeditions seem to be dying, and if you guys stick together, you'll probably come across artifacts that I'm interested in. You bring the artifacts back, and we'll exchange information.
Cool. So we could be like allied with the university and the Thieves Guild.
Potentially, yeah.
You
Their
guys don't
their
fuck
paths.
it up.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys don't fuck it up, don't fuck over Ember, and he won't fuck over you.
He seems nice. Nice enough.
Yeah. For those who are just curious, meta-wise, he is a fire genasi.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he is.
100%.
100%.
How long do they
Well,
live?
subtle.
Typically genasi don't live more than like normal human years, but he seems to be a very, very old one. Like he might be more primordial than others.
Cool.
All right. Well, I've done a shit ton of talking tonight.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of note writing.
a lot of note writing.
Nuts.
Are you guys planning on sticking around in Gresher, or are you guys heading back to the SET? And you guys do have a contract with the Merchants Grotto Guild that you have to fulfill too. So don't forget about that. You guys have agreed to take like 6 tons of materials.
I mean, that's up to. I mean, I don't know what Caspian's doing yet, so.
Unsure. I currently am on the side of doing more trustworthy work and not really dealing with sus characters yet.
Look at you guys being the actual heroes rather than the anti-heroes.
I don't think we have that much of a sway in the world yet, and we just got on the good side of these people, and I don't want
we
to.
have a decent amount
fuck
of sway. I feel like I
Yeah,
have a fucking
but-
decent amount of sway that we can like. We're
You
actually
do?
getting into the higher echelon.
But we wouldn't want to fuck that up, is what I'm saying. Like, we're not, like,
Yeah.
high enough where if we fuck up, we can be like, oh, it's whatever, like, it's us.
And now
Like,
with
if we fuck
Caspian,
up,
like
it's
we
still our
have
fault.
guaranteed access basically.
Yeah, so...
You guys
I
have
don't
definitely kind of gone the route of like the more like scholarly, like you know, with Caspian and with Aki, you guys have access to like the mage guild, the mages, and like the historian stuff. So it's one way to do it for sure. You guys definitely have more renown in the SET. Like if you recall, like people here don't necessarily know who you are. I mean, with Aki, the introduction was made, and everyone, you know, Caspian is acquainted, but your group is kind of gaining clout essentially. You know, you guys have a bit of it in the SET because you've saved 2 towns, but here you guys are still trying to make your splash a little bit.
He said that in Gresher, the Thieves Guild basically runs the entire
Yeah,
city,
pretty
so to
much.
speak. Okay.
That's why Chendrick was kind of giving you as a warning, like, hey, like, the guards here, the smart ones make the money, the stupid ones who try to pull the law end up dead. Like, the Thieves Guild pretty much runs like what happens to this town. It's either that or the Merchants Grotto Guild, and you have no idea whether or not they interact with each other.
Or if they interact with the Chapter Arcanum.
Yeah, well, the Chapter Arcanum. So keep in mind, the Chapter Arcanum, most magical research or institutes in this entire continent run outside of like political schemes, and like they kind of they're on their own parallel vein. Like there's like there's the politics, there's the economy, and then there's the magic, and they all kind of run parallel with each other with some crossing over. But like the Chapter Arcanum doesn't really care what the Merchants Grotto Guild does unless they like specifically need them to transport something for them, or like you acquire goods for them. But you know, like the Merchants Grotto Guild controls a lot of the economy in the town. Same with the Swath because of the trade that they do, and then the government controls like what happens like politically, and they probably have a little bit more to deal with the Merchants Grotto Guild and the Swath because those are more closely linked.
Gotcha.
Woo! But yeah, it's a fun time.
Oh, yeah.
Big world,
Yeah.
lot of moving parts. So, but I think that I like to put the effort into those because it makes it feel like it's a real
Yeah.
Yeah.
living thing, you know, not like some piece of paper. Like if
Yeah.
you can dig deep and there's still stuff there, not like
Yeah.
seeing past the curtain and there's just a wall. So
So theoretically, let's say we got into a fight tonight somehow, and we ended up fucking dying. There would be no way Aki and Caspian would ever know where to find us.
No.
if you were in the Swath's headquarters,
I mean, pretty much if we're anywhere in Pigeon East, I assume they just run Pigeon East. Like,
they run
Yeah,
the entire
that's
town. They run pretty much the entire town.
right, exactly. So if we
So-
started anything,
And you were killed, your bodies might never be found.
exactly. Yeah.
Unless you were like killed in an alleyway and just dumped or something. But you know, I don't know. Like that's so to put it in perspective, the last time I had a party come through Gresher, they were like level 15, I think, or 13 to 15, and like so they could kind of butt heads with the Thieves Guild a little bit more because they were higher level. But for you guys level 7, yeah, I don't know how that would turn out. Probably
We'd get fucked.
you probably get fucked. So yeah, stuff to think about.
Okay.
Do not want to get fucked.
I have to read over my character and see what Profuga would do.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, if you guys keep on this like positive trend of like making connections and doing good trade deals and stuff in Gresher, you guys will probably set to level up as you leave. Because I do milestones, so not necessarily just combat, but you guys have successfully navigated through Gresher, made connections, made important stops, talked to the Alabaster Country, talked to the university, made connections there. However you kind of play at the Thieves Guild, if it goes well, that's a good thing. Things have gone well for you at the Merchants Grotto Guild, so you guys are probably set to level up as you leave Gresher, assuming you don't fuck everything up next session.
Networking!
And
Yeah, leveling up for networking. So.
Yay!
some small housekeeping.
Yep.
Rodan was a half elf,
Yeah. No, he
Yes.
was an elf.
No, he Rodin is a full elf.
full elf, and he was an
Yeah.
archmage.
Essentially the same status. The title of Archmage is pretty much just Chapter Arcanum, but he's essentially the same status as an Archmage. But he's in charge of much less people.
High level mage, I'll just say.
He's a high level mage. Yeah. He's the mage of that tower. So,
Cool.
for a mage to have his own tower, you kind of have to be pretty good at what you do.
And then I guess that's it. We left off like going to sleep or something, or we just left off.
Yeah, we
We
were
left off
just like going back to the end.
Dimitri and Apo and Profugo were leaving the squeaky bar stool, and that's kind of where we left off.
Everybody just went back to the end.
We'll say that everyone went back to the inn and just went to sleep.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sleep.
Alrighty.
Alright, awesome.
Sounds good. Well, we
Filler episode.
Filler, but lots of lore. You know, it wasn't just a full shopping episode, so it was good. But lots of plot developments, lots of different ways you guys can go now. Whether or not you guys return to the SET to hold up on your end of the bargains on a lot of promises, that's kind of up to you guys. But yeah, I mean, there's stuff to do here too. I mean, there's luckily like this section of the world I've already spent 2 years developing, so. There's
Nice.
I know the area very well, so wherever you guys go, there's stuff to do. So
Good.
sweet.
Yay!
The props of world building for 4 years.
Shut up.
Okay, sounds good. We probably won't have a session next week because I'm going home, and my parents' house is way up in the mountains, and there's shitty internet, so I probably won't.
And I have to work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And Nick has finals next week.
Yep.
No,
so,
the week after, not next
The
week.
week after.
But I still
Okay.
have a bunch of shit next week.
So we won't be meeting next week.
Rip.
But yeah, we will reconvene the following week after Thanksgiving, and we'll kind
Sounds
of
good.
go from there. Maybe play a little bit of Neverwinter if we all get some time between then.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
We
Oh, for sure.
we got plenty of
Yeah.
time, bro.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything tomorrow night, so.
Dude, we're not
Me
doing anything right now.
neither. What right now?
I know, but I'm tired. I had a 10-hour workday, and then I had a 10-hour workday, and then just talked for 3 hours straight. So I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, it's okay. Have a good night.
See you in
All right.
2 weeks.
Well, we'll play Neverwinter later this week.
Yeah.
That's
Just
true,
not
I
just
guess.
not just not tonight.
Yeah, no,
It's not
not
time.
right now.
It's time for sleeps for kids.
Fair.
Bye.
Let's go.
Have
Alright,
good
dude.
sleep.
All right.
Have a
Have a
good
good night,
night.
everybody.
Yeah.
We'll play some tomorrow. All right.
Oh, yeah.
See ya.